Now on. Hello, everybody.
Hi, welcome to News and Nonsense. I'm Auntie AK, the auntie of all aunties, and I'm here with.
I am Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. We're here with News and Nonsense, where we sift through all the news and nonsense of the past week, where you sift the wheat from the chaff, the sack from the crap, and the diamonds from the rough to help you get through your week ahead and not be bombarded by nonsense. Yeah, man. I'm sorry we moved it from Friday because we had stuff to do. And now we're here on a nice Sunday afternoon. Who's in the chat, Sister Nan?
Okay, I'm waiting for people to roll in. Hang on, let me just also put Instagram on. La, la, la. Hello, Instagram. They have also joined in as well.
Hello,
We have Cher in the house. Sora is here. Saf is here. Aaliyah Shaw is in the house. For Grown Women Only is here. Amal is here. Leo Lees is here saying, hey, guys, if you're watching, please say hello. You know what I forgot to do? Because we got our new Spam Banking new WhatsApp group, I forgot to drop the link into our WhatsApp group to tell them over there that we are on. So let me do that now.
Yeah, we've got a WhatsApp group, guys. Do you know, I was a little bit scared of the WhatsApp group because I'm terrible in groups. I go in and I go out and I disappear. I will try to be present, but just in advance, I'm not the greatest always. I think maybe I get overwhelmed. I'm in quite a few groups, and sometimes when the chats are chatting, I get a bit like, ooh.
Oh, why? But yeah, you ain't got to be in there all the time.
No, I know.
It's really for our people to, especially
connect.
our members, to connect with each other.
Yeah.
And then we will dip in and out and be like, you know.
Is it Sunday? Oh my gosh. Thank you. Somewhere someone believes that I'm worthy of a Sunday preaching. Yes, women, welcome to the service. News and nonsense at your service. Please, to the left, put your tithes in the offering to the left. And later we shall have confessionals. So, guys, get your tithes out. Members, sign up, pay your tithes to the church of News and Nonsense. No disrespect, guys. Please don't take offense. I need tissue, I think. Let me run and get some tissue whilst you're fiddling.
Okay. I do that. And also, guys, I'm just going to drop the link into our YouTube membership. So to sign up, it's just $1.99. We do membership lives on a Saturday morning at 11 a.m. GMT. We also drop episodes weekly in there as well. I do need to drop 2 episodes for you guys today. A little bit of color corrections because we looked a bit grayish. I don't know.
What,
why.
on the latest one?
On the extra one, it just looked a little bit grey, so I just needed to do a color correct. And also, I started. CapCut have done some new editing stuff, and I've just gone crazy editing. I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning so much more things. So
that's my God.
A while to upload because I've just been editing and playing around. But 2 episodes will be dropping today. I will definitely get that done.
Lucky guys. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm in a load. I think for the job I do, I'm in quite a few groups, and it's sometimes like, good grief, I'm the worst. And then I'll pop up and then with groups. Yeah, with groups, when you're not the consistent voice, you can be ignored really easily. Group I'm in, they don't pay me no mind because I barely pop up. And so when I pop up, it's a bit, and I'm a bit random sometimes as well. And so if you don't really get my randomness, people might be like, this girl is so odd. I have to embrace my oddity, or my a bit of a triangle in a circle type personality with some groups. It's funny. But yeah, this is News and Nonsense, the open chat. What's everyone doing today? Apart from watching us, doing their chores, wrapping up stuff for the week ahead. I'm waiting for Nan to get into our first story.
Okay. Oh, look at that!
What happened?
Only she has sent us $10.
Oh my God! Thank you. Amen. 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 Amen.
Amen.
Sure.
Amen. 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 Thank you.
Actually, true blessings. Thank you so much. I hope you all got your clappy clappy on, because I do. Do you know what the thing is? I don't go to church, but I do love gospel music. I
So,
actually really, I can get. The other day, I was feeling really. What I had a weird nightmare dream, and so I woke up, put gospel on until I left the house to do my day, and I was just uplifted. And I can be very critical of Christianity and stuff just because of the number it's done on us in the wider realm, not the actual core of it. And it just, that part, gospel music, when we get it right, God, gosh, I was about to curse, but yes, it's amazing.
no, definitely. It does. It makes a huge difference as well.
Honestly.
I mean,
And that's
music is spiritual. That's why we kind of got we got to be very cognizant of the music that we take in,
absolutely,
and it can totally shift you in lots of different ways.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Oh, I forgot something. I'm just gonna add. I now my turn to faff. I forgot to add my pictures. Let me just download these. Uh,
Okay.
to cancel. Two,
I've
three.
just got up with the latest of the Diddy news. I haven't actually looked over the doc properly. Let me see.
I'll go and start with Diddy then, because I haven't got anything on it. So you can start with Diddy, and I'll just download these bits. What's the crack with Diddy?
Okay. All right. So the latest on the Diddy saga is the prosecution team has put in their evidence to counter him trying to bid to be the word's gone out of my head to be, for bail. Now, how
Ah,
he's put a motion in for bail that is going to be heard probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe even be next week. The prosecution have now put in their evidence to say why Diddy should never get bail, and the evidence is pretty strong. They are saying from prison, Diddy has been out here tampering with witnesses that actually
oh,
been so he's been running social media campaigns, which you can tell, like with his kids
with his
doing the
kids.
happy birthday. Yeah. And also Christian Combs putting all of those nostalgia videos on out there as well. That's another way to kind of humanize him. But also from prison, he has actually been doing collect calls using other prisoners' accounts and calling people to kind of, I guess, sway them. And they have cited that Kalina is one of them. They have evidence to prove that he actually was in contact with her. He paid her to do that Instagram post, that he has been paying her bills. They spoke. It was over 100 times that they have spoken, like text message or over the phone. They have had correspondence since Dawn Richards put in her lawsuit.
Oh
So,
no.
and she was cited as a witness anyway. So again, it's like she was going to be involved in the prosecution's case, but because Diddy has done his involvement with her and paid her, we can't believe anything she's saying now. And they
Oh,
put all of this evidence out in a motion. If you want more information, Megan Cuniff has done a full breakdown. You know, with Megan Cuniff.
but Megan Cunliffe, the court reporter, she's
Yeah.
just, it's her duty. You know that her position is so precarious because her duty is to report on the stories, but she has definitely entered the black space to report. And it's, yeah, we have a contentious relationship, but she does the damn thing. She will document and replay and retell for your betterment to understand what the hell is going on. I discovered her during the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion case.
So you find her questionable?
No. I'm not. I've not. I thoroughly appreciated her accounts, but in looking at, and I suppose being politically black as well as black, I just you just always have to question. I think it's our duty to just double question to question when people are in these spaces, whether they're doing good or not. She is a white woman in this space. That's really. I know she. I think she does other cases. I'm sure. I don't think she just hones in the black space, but she has cornered that position as a trusted voice in reporting in black significant cases. And I never noticed her until Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. I I think I'm sure she does other cases. So I'd,
Mm.
but I just would like to see the balance and her notoriety where she gets the most attention in general. If it's equal, because obviously I'm not in white spaces, so I don't know if there are white groups that are just like, oh my God, Megan's got the tea on so and so's case, and it resonates the way her work resonates within our space. So it's just to
Okay.
vocalize it,
Yeah, yeah.
and be aware of it.
That she is the one that's there. I get it. I get it.
That's all.
But just looking over Global Pioneer, he's saying Diddy is a woman beater, but all this kid stuff, we need to see these victims and we need to see this court trial because I think they're making Diddy before God. What happened to? Huh? I
What?
don't get it. What happened to Epstein and Harvey?
Did he before God? So what we're doing judgment before what before God? What
I don't.
happened to it? Maybe that
Uh,
was a typo, but
okay.
yeah. Okay,
Everybody.
so go on to the next comment. They said everyone is doing.
Everybody is doing all this talking. We know victims, but we don't know any victims in the Epstein. We will never get Epstein's list. You guys don't find that strange.
I,
Have you watched any Epstein documentaries? Because there's a lot out there. Well, at the time, anyway, I watched quite a few, and there was quite a few victims within the shows that came forward. The list, on the other hand, we definitely need to see that list. That's for sure. That's for sure.
yeah, I think, but I don't think it's strange that we don't see this because we know now, tried and tested forever and ever, amen. Every time there's a list, a document, a file, that we, the common people, will never ever see that list. It's always redacted. It's always sealed because the upper echelons know what they want to block from us. So I think it's not strange. We know it's very rare that we're going to get the truth in that on that micro level. What we can get is just the evidence of what they can prove that doesn't implicate anybody else that's powerful.
Mm.
Cher, not if I say Cher, Cher saying she likes Meghan. She doesn't take, not Meghan, Cunliffe. The name Meghan, isn't it?
It's Megan, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. She doesn't take glee in the cases and appears impartial. I mean, you know, I don't trust humans, but yes, I use her because I think she's quite straightforward. I also, if I look at her stuff.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, I'm awake. Epstein's victims have been identified. They have. They
Mm.
literally have been they came forward, especially even the one that absolutely came forward and then got the payout from Prince Andrew. It's like
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are lots of documentaries that was on him. Now this list, and if we can believe the list, there was a list that was circulating like years ago. Loads of people was like, I don't believe it. I don't know. We still have this with Diddy, and let's see if Diddy has a trial. All of that comes out. All of the various celebrities involved in it, we're not getting their names yet.
Yeah,
That's not coming out.
because the
So
trial.
I don't know if it even will come out in the trial because also the prosecution have redacted certain things that they found from Diddy's cell. The prison that he's in, the jail that he's in, was actually raided, and they found things in his room and notes that he had written, and some of them they were like, now that is going to be evidence, and so it's redacted from this 30-page filing that they put through. So we don't know what is going on. Diddy is, I actually can't believe he is so stupid to have things in his cell, to be doing things from prison, when you definitely could have your lawyers or people on the outside doing this for you. I don't know why you would be doing this from prison.
I think it's panic and power, panic, power, and control issues. That's what it sounds like. Did he? It seems like that's what he does. He's used to having his own way, deluded, possibly still brain addled, if it's true, the allegations of drug use and that power play where I can do what I want and you lot can't get me. And we don't know who he's speaking to and who's allowing him to do certain things and get away with it. And then as the screws turn even further, more and more restrictions are being put on him. Bussy Skin Mijiako, I hope I said all of that right. Black men always complain about not being able to abuse the same way white men get to abuse. It's scary and gross. I don't know if global power is a man. I'm assuming that's what everyone's assuming. I don't think it's just exclusive to black men. We human beings do play whataboutery, and yes, we do. It does feel like the people that stand by their man, the black men. You know, I get it. We're very sensitive to being called out in the public eye, but there's a lot going on here that it's very hard to stand by Diddy. I believe he should get a fair and honest trial, but he should also behave fair and honestly in this moment and not have this coercion thing attack. It's been proven now. They've
Yeah,
actually said you're coercing and from your jail cell. Stop doing that.
Like it's illegal. It goes against the prison regulations. He is not allowed, and he's been getting other people to top up people's telephone time from outside, topping up their accounts, and he's using their telephone minutes. That is not allowed in the jail. You are not allowed to do that. He's been caught doing it. Of course, you're going to get caught doing it because they record all of the telephone calls. So
Crazy.
you know when you're just like, so obviously, whoever he thought his link of power is that would keep him safe wherever he is, they're obviously not able to protect him.
That's the part.
He should have known that from when he was in there and his bail was denied 2 times. He should have known that I'm out here in the wind now,
It
basically.
just
I have no protection.
he should have cottoned on a bit clear, but it just seems this seems like someone's walking up and down jingling their keys in their pocket because they're worried. That's what his behaviour is giving. Global Pioneers come back to say what? So why aren't the victims in jail or on trial? All we hear is about diddy, and most of these women wanted to be around any, and now they're telling yes, he wouldn't be. So I think Global Power, you're pulling at all the kind of straws of this conversation, of this situation, and it won't land properly because we also know victims don't
They're not on trial.
on trial.
So,
And people come forward when they're empowered and emboldened to. And yes, we definitely know there are going to be people that are opportunists within this whole scenario. There will definitely be men and women aside that get caught up or get caught up in it, will be doing whatever they can. There will be some. But at the same time, we have no facts or stats as us, the common people, to know who that is and who to discern until it goes to trial. And no victim is going to be on trial unless they're complicit. Because we're still even talking about maybe Cassie could be called in her part in this. There are people that can still be called as witnesses to testify. We don't know what's going on.
precisely that. But also, anybody that is putting forward their case to sue him, we have a right to know what we're up against because we were consuming his materials
Yeah,
and not knowing who we were buying from. I think the general public has a right to know what this public figure was doing and what they were up to and discuss it.
yeah,
It's exactly and we can all see that he is doing a media campaign via his kids to humanize him and to actually like pull on our heartstrings of the Diddy that we once knew.
yeah,
Diddy's perception that we bought into, that he is of black excellence, that he
yeah,
is a doting father. He is doing all of that and he knows what he's doing. And they've cited it that he's doing this and he wrote it down and he spoke about it to actually be to sway jury members.
yeah,
So it's all methodical. He was having conversations talking about the impressions, the likes that were on each post, like what are people saying in the comments.
yeah.
This ain't a man he's methodical, and he's
Mm.
just been caught at it. It's like, nah,
And
this is
it's,
wild.
it's it's betraying waste. And the thing is, when we'll come back to Bussy's comment, when we place people as genius, what do you call it? What's the word? Gurus and I don't know, CEOs, big bad bosses, all that type of stuff. We get sold such a mogul. That's the word I was looking for. Business mogul. We get sold such a thing that there's so many guys in our community. Let's talk about our community. So I'm going to say black men because usually black men who are pitted as the big boss. We have women in that space too. If we want to mention Beyonce's and all the other people who are positioned as bosses, but a lot of you guys are figureheads. There's a lot of people that they have to answer to. This super brain, this super genius. You might just be brilliant at putting a beat together. It does not, and you might be able to might be good at saying, "Oh, this is a deal, and I'm going to sign this deal, and I'm a part of it, and I'm going to make millions." It doesn't make you an actual genius, mogul, icon, and someone that should be on a pedestal. And I fell for the okie doke. I've been a super fan of Diddy, and superficially, because he's a Scorpio, I'm like, yeah, we're the same. It means shit, really, when you get down to the nitty gritty of someone's personality and someone that we do not know. No one in here, no one's in the comments saying that they know them. I don't know Diddy personally. I fell in love with the fan. I became a fan of his persona. I know nothing about this guy. You can't be so attached to people. We have to find a way to separate the stuff that we like versus who they actually are as people and what influence they have had, negative or positive, on us as a people. This starts to break it all down.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's get Bussy's comment.
Bussy Skin says, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Chris Brown, you can never have these convos without them bringing up Weinstein and Epstein. Like, can we focus? Thank you. Because if everybody's at it in different ways, however a white person is going to be treated is how they're going to be treated. we can't then be like, oh, because a black man wasn't treated like a white man, we should somehow give them some leeway. Evil is evil. Doing shit is doing shit.
Yeah.
Like amongst our community, we should still hold them accountable. And Chris Brown is still questionable. There's still people coming out saying shit about him.
Yeah.
Still. And it's like, he's been given a pass. The guy's making music, he's making money,
It,
and he still has access to women. Like,
yeah. Chris Brown he was given a rough time. And the thing is, I've had defense arguments for Chris Brown, definitely. I think, I don't, again, we were talking about personality yesterday on our members chat, if you want to go back and watch that. I don't know if he's inherently a bad person for the stuff that happened between him and Rihanna, whether he's always a violent, wicked person to women. I do think that in the society around him, and we, in quotes, created a beast, a monster, because we vilified and criminalized a young boy who came from trauma, delivered trauma, and was not given a chance to figure out his trauma without piling on him as if to say he was a serial beater and a horrible person. So we created a beast. I think we all have a hand in that. But he has gone on to not kind of grow from that per se. I don't know ins and outs. I really want to know more about where he lands. But there's too many people that have said, yeah, he did this. The way he treated, what's her name? What's the girl that he was with?
Carucci.
Afterwards. Carucci. His behavior was possessive and narcissistic towards her as one such
Yeah.
evidence. Do you know what I
But it
mean?
was
So
said that he did hit her. She also said that he did hit her and he did stalk her, and we were privy to the stalking because he kept on popping up whenever she had a man. So again, it's like I don't think that I think he was enabled. Remember when he reconciled with Rihanna? Again, that was facilitated by Diddy.
exactly.
When Offset cheated on Cardi B, who was
Exactly.
there as a counsel? Diddy. Like, so we kind of got to see there's a lot of behavior within their sphere, it gets condoned. And although he was on probation for so long and everything else, and he had to keep on going up in front of the judge, that's because he kept on breaking his probation. So I don't think he learned a lot, actually. He lost out on money, sure, definitely. He wasn't getting booked. There was loads of people that wouldn't touch him with a barge
Yeah.
pole. That happened. But did you really did he really reflect on his behavior and try and change? We haven't seen any evidence of that.
No, not in that
Actually,
way. He's lived
no.
his life. He's been able to live his life. I'm not going to say it's been easy for him, but he's been able to live his life and be super set. People rate him now. He rate him as one of the biggest, and he is one of the biggest R&B superstars now stepping into Afrobeat space. He's been very successful. Little Rock, I just wanted to pause. Hi, Little Rock. So I was on the tram yesterday, going to the depths of South. That was where I used to live. I used to live in Mitcham on the tram line, and I was going to Gold Coast, a Ghanaian restaurant in West Norwood, and so I was on the tram. Little Rock said hello to me, and we were like, do we know each other? And then she was like, I know you. Then she goes, and then she figured out who I was. And so she said, hi. Said, hi. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. And she says that she literally did a double take as she was listening to the podcast earlier. Big up, I have Usher tickets next year. I'm wondering if the news will blow for him. There's a lot of stuff circling. I think what's just come out about, they're saying, who was it? Suge Knight that said now that was it Suge Knight's just spoken recently?
Yeah, Suge Knight did. It's not he was calling from prison, but it's not his podcast. He was on another man's podcast, and he did say that definitely he has known allegedly that Diddy did things to Usher and Justin Bieber, and it was like a chain. He did it to Usher, made Usher do things to Justin Bieber, and he did things to Justin Bieber as well, and it's like a chain.
Yeah, and he said that Justin was passed around men, like guys, like people in the industry, just passed around and broken.
Yeah,
Bieber's got a story to tell.
We know that Bieber definitely has a story to tell. Have you seen that interview with Justin Bieber talking about Billie Eilish, and he's breaking down saying like, I feel like I need to protect her, and I don't even know her, but I know what this industry would do with somebody with her talent. The guy looks so broken that you can't watch that and be like, oh, that's somebody that just knows of some little things that they do, like stealing money. He knows with her talent, what she can do, they are going to destroy her. And he looks broken sitting there talking about it. Like,
Where's that?
it's actually distressing. I think I saw it on YouTube.
Okay, maybe if it's distressing, I
I
want to
go
see it.
down like rabbit holes with him. I can't
Let me
remember
see it.
who. If you can see if you can find it, but yeah, it's a really sad moment, and just how Justin is at this moment in time. The guy looks like all of this is bringing up a lot for him, and he can't talk. So I don't know.
Because also, there's a. Oh, this is a. I don't know. I need to have a talk with you first before I talk about say this out loud. I think we just got to sense check sometimes.
Dean Dillon says he was in absolute tears and broken. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a moment. It's one of the
Oh,
first
yeah.
times he
Okay.
kind of broke a little bit.
I think I've. One
Got it?
second. I think I
Yeah.
found it.
Okay, okay.
Let me see if I can share it.
And then you put your one on.
Um,
Oh, Claire says Usher has his own issues. Remember the STDs.
well,
Yes,
let's.
is that Zane
Yeah,
Lowe? That
she's crazy. She's a superstar.
Superstar, right? So
Yeah.
so you're there and you see her and you see the way she's reacting to you. And I wonder what was going through your mind, because I've never had a chance to ask you that, because I know what was going through her mind because I've had a chance to ask her that, and it was pretty clear in the video what's going through her mind. She can't even. What was going through your mind when you saw that kind of reaction, and also now in the knowledge that you were just coming out of that space yourself?
I wanted to protect the moment. You know, I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to get. You know, we never know how many opportunities we're going to get with anybody. I mean, just, I'm tearing up thinking about it, just with the Kobe situation, you know? You just never know. And so I just wanted to be a good example, you know? And, yeah.
Did you feel protective of her?
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. So yeah, it's hard because I want her to know that, you know, she can count on me. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to force myself to be in a relationship with her. It has to be natural, right? So I just kind of, you know, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters, and yeah. So yeah, I just want to protect her, you know. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to, you know, go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. So yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Oh, fuck, man. I didn't see that. That made me feel very sad. And you don't get that emotional about people just not speaking to you. Do you know what I mean? Like when he said people turning their back, there's that level of, you know, I get frozen out because I had a bad hit and it wasn't very nice. I went through some troubles. It could be that, but that's not tears of that. That's tears of.
you see the tapping, the holding himself. Those are all things that you do when you have experienced a profound trauma. Like just
Yeah, man.
having to hide. Like I can't even now be upright to have this discussion with Zayn. I have to hide myself, but obviously I know the cameras are there. All of
Yeah.
that is like, what happened to Justin Bieber? Like really.
And yeah, we'll have that conversation first.
And Zayn Lowe's face as well. It's like he also knows, fuck, what happened to you? Like, yeah, nah, it's nutty. It's nutty.
That's wild. And the thing is, I'm very critical. I am very critical. I stand by. I'm very critical of white artists being in the black space and wearing it like an outfit. I don't know if I ever leveraged that at Justin, but I might have lumped them all together in the same bag. Like, don't do a Pink, a Kid Rock, a Miley Cyrus. We're not to be worn. But at the same time, who also knows the jump out reasons? Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say that getting into the black space means you're just going to be fucked over, because it's the music industry at large. It is everybody. But there is a, you know, and then, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Celine Dion saying there's pictures and footage of him as a teen at parties with Diddy. He can barely stand up. Yeah, I mean, there's that interview where Diddy is there with him, like, we've been having fun. And Justin looks like a child. We've been having fun. Definitely, he's been seeing things that, is like a man's dream. This is all dodgy shit.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have a 15-year-old hanging out with you? And the same with Usher as well. Why do you have kids hanging out with you, seeing stuff, and then being like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have seen that? Like, what type of a man are you? And then also with your sons, what have you put in front of your sons that they now think that this is normal?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Sora saying, but if I remember clearly, his mother was practically there with him through his debut.
Well, this is the thing. I was gonna get onto, like, but we know parents can be bought. We know that. White parents, black parents, we know parents can be bought. We question the parents of the girls that went with R. Kelly. We question the parents that so who's like Macaulay Culkin, didn't he excommunicate himself from his parents?
Yeah.
There are people out there. People can be bought, and especially when you're from any poor town, whether you're from poverty or from the dirt, as you say, working class, whatever. Even rich people can be bought. But I'm just saying that when you come from hard means, and America is hard, they don't have a healthcare system like the UK in that respect, people can be bought. So
I was there was somebody's manager on, hopefully somebody in the comments, you've seen her talk about this. It's someone's manager, and she was saying that there were parents leaving their daughters at the hotels and being like, go and get this artist. And she was having to say, go back to your parents. Like, she was like, parents were selling their daughters off. They were literally being like, go and get him. And they were kids, and just, they would deposit their children to. So people, a famous person does get it from all sides. It is good. You may have your appetite, but also people will feed into that as well. And you can imagine Diddy could probably, especially at the height, there would be people handing over their children, like, make them famous.
Yeah. And that's what the parents of the girl, which was one particular girl, taking her to the concert and putting her in the front after the rumors of R. Kelly. You're bringing her to the concert. You're putting her and allowing her to go. Come on, man. Like, what is this?
That was one of the, was it the Cleary one?
I can't remember which one.
Because they were a part of the documentary, and then they kind of tried to soft pedal that after what they were trying to be like, no, we was there, and then they sent like one of the siblings to go and stay with her. But still, it sounds crazy. This is a child. Why is she traveling with R. Kelly? Like, why was that even a thing where you're like, this sounds okay. This sounds like something we should have our teenager involved in with a 40-year-old man, like, so that she becomes famous. Can she not just do studio in her hometown?
Yeah, I was looking to see about any news on their relationship. It says that they were estranged when he went off the rails, because there's a moment when Justin was literally trying to be a bad man, and whatever that means, he was doing a lot, and apparently they estranged them. But there's nothing in to say that he was estranged from her for any complicitness or anything in his downfall. But I don't know. Again, you could have, what does she know from what she doesn't know? What does she believe as a parent thinks that was his own doing, and all that type of stuff?
Yeah. The parents are a part of this as well, because also it's still a child who's hanging out with a stranger, a famous stranger, but he's a stranger, and it seems a bit crazy, the kind of things that Justin Bieber was around when he was a kid.
But that's what we're talking about for who was it, the guy or whoever was saying, I can't remember who it was. Anyway, he was saying, or they were saying about that, and we were saying about that relation that we think we have with these celebrities. We need to distance it, because the fact that you think that this person, like I said, I like Diddy, you're a great fan, and there could be a moment before we had all the rumors where if my child was a singer, maybe I might be naive to say, let's go and meet, if she had that level of talent, let's go and meet him, let's get a deal. I might be naive to that. There could be a thing, as you know, and as an average parent, you might think, yes, this guy's going to protect my child. I'm going to sign the deal and it's going to be all good. I understand there's a level of naivety that comes with that. But when someone's already got a reputation for being funny around kids and stuff, you just can't. Like R. Kelly has had rumors for time. So that's why you at least I would weigh up the early days of Diddy. That, yeah, he might be a bit of a business scammer, but you like, fuck it. You don't know about the sexual deviance and the beating and all that type of stuff. Yes, I did watch Making the Band, Bussy. I did. I loved it. But I didn't think that meant them.
I never watched Making the Band.
Making the Band. But I didn't see it through any negative lens. I really didn't. I didn't watch the first one where he made them walk. I watched the second season, to be fair. I didn't watch the first one where he made them walk over Manhattan Bridge or whatever to get an apple pie, whatever the case was. But again, because reality shows are so dumb and nonsense, I'm not going to look at that as super bad. And I'm going to think it's just hype. I loved the second season with when he made Janet E. Kane and the boys, the guys group, Day 26. I loved that series from beginning to end. And I wasn't anti-Diddy then. I literally thought it was fantastic.
And it was a caper that they would do in those like reality shows.
Yeah.
You know, the judges were always harsh. Diddy was just known to be like, he's a taskmaster. He wants perfection. Yeah. It's only, and even America's Next Top Model, when you watch it back now, it's like, it's actually cruel, the things that team would do. They were really cruel to people. Yeah. But there's a level of, yeah, it was kind of normal. This is the thing. It's like, it's that change. The TV in the 90s was so brutal.
So bad.
We were kind of brought up in a really brutal, harsh way that was very normal. Yeah. To watch somebody get cast on TV was very normal. It went over us. Like even, you know, Fat versus Skinny. Like all of those shows could not happen now, but we were brought up on that TV. Like,
so that's what, literally. I can't wait, Mijen, for this documentary coming out, the Americans, because I was invested.
Yes,
especially because I was doing hair, I was in fashion.
Exactly.
I thought, this is my life, this is my world. I loved Tyra for everything she said. I was anticipating America's Next. I was in it. I gave it numbers. Shit.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I watched every season.
Until
it probably got a little bit silly. Maybe the last 2 seasons I didn't watch.
When they added the boys in, I think I watched one with the guys, and I was like, "You lot are done." When she put the lace front beard on the guy,
You know, it's when they mixed it. It's when it became mixed. I think I may have watched that first season, and then even when it came to Britain as well, it's like I really that stage I may have just been coming out of styling, but I was like, oh my god, if I got a call to be a part of one of these, shows, love it. Like I got so excited.
Yeah.
But it's horrible, and she was horrible.
Yeah.
She was a bitch.
Awful. It was like literally awful. Like the things they would say and the things they were complicit in. You black-faced up people.
Yes.
Like Tyra and Miss J.
They were the worst. They literally were girls crying and was like, yeah, you're gonna be bald. Like, is it so you must do anything to my body? Can you imagine the contracts that these people sign? I need to see one of their contracts because they would do anything to them, and then you just get sent home.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah,
that was wild. So then the vein of reality shows was to be as dramatic as possible, and it was a tough time. That's why those of us who were cut on those teeth and those cloths, when we look at the sensitivities of today, we're a bit like, guys, are you okay? But
it's hard. It's hard.
It's hard.
Each time we're doing a lavish and I have like a commentary on somebody, it's generally a little bit harsh, but that's what I was watching. So it's like, yeah, you are going to be like, that one's a little bit portly. Well, can you remember that time on Pop Stars where I think it was Sharon was just like, you look like a fat girl that works in bakeries. Like, they were so cruel. But as you're watching it, you are like, oh my God, I could see her in Greg's actually. Like, it just becomes normal.
They just said the quiet parts out loud. What was in their head? Yes, of course, the iconic. Hi, Yvonne. The iconic. We were rooting for you. It was like unnecessary. I think at that point, I did think like, what's going on? I believe, and I hope I'm not being warped by, you know, now we've seen it so many times. Yeah, but I do believe I thought that was like, because there were times like, no, I don't get, when someone sent home the commentary, I don't think I was riding, dying everything that she said, but generally I love Tyra, yeah. But that Tiffany ball out was dumb. It didn't even make any sense. It was like, what's the drama?
Yeah. I always felt, and I did always think that she was super hard on the black models.
She was.
And I didn't like it because I didn't like that in school. Like, when you get a black teacher and they were always really hard on the black girls, especially in my school, that was always a theme. So I'd never liked that about her. It was just like, why can't you be nurturing? Why can't you actually be super understanding to the black people because you understand?
Yeah, it was that under the guise of tough love because you're going to get it worse because the industry's harsh. I think because I've always been a fan, like I'm going to root for the black. I'm rooting for everybody black always. So when it was like, what's this happening here? I think I would definitely notice that. But generally, you couldn't make me miss America's Next Top Model.
I know.
I couldn't miss it.
Was it on Channel 4?
I believe so. I believe because when Channel 4 was black and for us and for the culture, when it was just like pop culture. And Making the Band, I loved it. Like, again, I couldn't miss Making the Band. The second season was, jeez. But yeah, we are slowly regressing back to that level of problematic behavior. I think it's just everything's out the bag now. We can't hide it because we tried to mollycoddle after the harshness, but we hadn't dealt with the problem at the core. We don't understand human nature, what we can take and what we shouldn't take, what we should say, what we shouldn't say. We haven't dealt with that. We just then all the bans started coming in, all the censorship started coming in before figuring out, well, what do we actually need and what do we, you know what I mean? There has been no remedy for our problems.
We need common sense. And that's where it went too soft. It's like, and as much as they say woke, for me, it's just PC because that isn't what woke means.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
it's like the PC went too far because it's like you're trying to soften everything, but that actually isn't reality. So let's just apply common sense to things. And I don't think you can harshly police satire. So you can take the piss out of things and it should be a discussion, not a cancellation. It's like it just went too far. And what happens is it goes too far and then the ridiculous or the super harsh becomes like the counter to it and people are attracted to that. We never seem to get the balance right. And that's the problem. It's like, can we just apply common sense to things? If it's hard, if it's really, you've gone over a boundary, a proper sorry should be enough to reset it and let's keep moving.
Exactly.
Like, you shouldn't lose all of your livelihood. So then everybody is like, oh my God, I don't even know. Is that a he, she, them? Let's not do that. Let's not play those games.
I think it's that we've gone. It's too much. It's too much for everyone to deal with. I want to go back to Purple Loves talking about Tyra being light skinned, and I think she's alluding to the fact that she was harder on the black models, the black models, because of her issue of Naomi Campbell. I mean, that's a big kind of have to get into Tyra's head to see that, and even her, the beef between her and Naomi was a weird one, and I think I saw the reconciliation, and I probably was team Naomi in that scenario, though we know that Naomi was Naomi, and to survive, she was hardcore to protect herself. I believe it was to protect herself. The way that Naomi responded to Tyra was just like, but I didn't even think of you. I wasn't even thinking. So you held on to something and you manifested it, and which people can do if you don't have that conversation early. And I've done it personally. Like, I've built up the monster of the person when the person might have done something fleetingly wrong, but not even thinking about me in any type of other way than what I've manifested in my head. So then I've then thought, oh, this person hates me, dislikes me, I don't know if Tyra had evidence of Naomi actually blocking her from jobs. I can't remember, and things like that.
I think she said it. She was saying it to her, and Naomi was like, that didn't happen. Yeah. It was so, I remember that interview and I was on Tyra's side, but it didn't go the way she thought it was going to go. And I thought Naomi really handled herself really well, and just that I've been living rent free in your head and you haven't been occupying my space.
Yeah.
So it was, I really learned from that, actually, that encounter. Like, there's no point.
There's no point.
What she thought she was going to get you're not going to get it because she's just been living her life.
Yeah.
And really, Tyra needed to do the same, not in spite of Naomi. She needed to be like, I need to build my own empire.
And just get on with it, which she
Get on
did.
with it. Yeah. But
Because
there was always a bit of, I'm going to prove Naomi wrong in it. It
Yeah.
was like, Naomi didn't give a hoot what
And-
you were up to. Or
and it-
gave that perception. So I don't know if she was playing, but it was like, this ain't going the way you think it is, because the girl's going on like, I don't care.
I think Naomi was like, I'm living my life. I've had my own struggles, my own shit. And maybe she had a bit of hardcore, like, do you know what I went through? And you're moaning about this. Yeah. And maybe even if she's like, fuck it, I was a bitch to you. And yes, I'm claiming my position because of who I am and because what I went through, what I had to endure. You're not taking my position. And so all of that could be true. Naomi could have been a hard stone cold witch to her. But at the end of the day, and I'm not even angry at Tyra for it, really, because I get it, because I literally I've had the same experience. But it's just it is a lesson to us all. Like, you can't build people up in your head like that, especially if their life is moving forward and yours is.
Yes, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It's like Naomi ain't beating the charges of being a bully. It's not just Tyra. It's almost every big black supermodel that comes along seems to. There's very few of them that don't have a story that Naomi was a bully. So we got to go that she probably is a bully. Like,
yeah, maybe. And also, and again, it's like I've learned, and again, it's that kind of sensitive to who you like and who you don't like, or who you don't know, who you do know. It's that you learn to kind of understand people's behavior when they're in the trenches themselves. So and like, it could be defensive. It doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it could be like, nah, man, I wasn't in the right place. Meet me today, and I might have been different to you. Have we got any other comments up in there? Yeah, someone said about her and Diddy. We don't. Yeah, Naomi's and her name's been on a couple of lists as well. But again, there's not. We have to wait to see what happens. Unfortunately,
I think so. I think there's some people that pop up around the same sets of folks again and again, and Naomi is one of them. And so we kind of got to see how it plays out when she gets her moment as well. I feel like it's going to happen for everybody. The same with Oprah. It's like Oprah may live this out though, like who knows. But after we're gonna hear talk. It's just too many people. It's too many people.
I think it's sad to have to lay all our heroes and icons down on the ground, put down our false idols, and just get right with ourselves. Yeah, and it's literally get right with your own personal self, because everyone around you will attract the right people to you when you get right with yourself in every aspect. That's all we can do at this point. You can't have heroes and icons. You can appreciate what people are doing, then you have to do your research and due diligence and really clock them if you're going to have them as on your mood board. Literally.
Nobody needs to be on anyone's mood board, man. Put your own pictures up there. Put your own pictures up there. It's like I have a thing when I'm praying to my ancestors. It's like I don't even just say the ancestors. It's to the ancestors that love me the most.
Do you know what?
I don't know who's passed on the other side that is harboring shit against you. That's my ancestors that love me the most.
Is my prayer ritual. When I remember, because I'm not the best at praying all the time, and that's the conversations I have. I'm not best at praying all the time. So when I do, it's literally, and for every section, for when it's for the ancestors who love and care about me, who are good at business, come talk to me about this conversation. For the ancestors that love and care about me, who are good at love and relationships, come put your hands on me here. That is where I have to be specific.
Yes.
Because you cannot just say ancestors when you've got Uncle Biney that was a womanizing, beating, cheating fraudster. Hey, Uncle Kweku, Auntie Bussy.
I'm telling you, boy, you gotta literally go in deep. And it is if you're in that path of I need help with this, then I will literally sometimes I'm not even going to the ancestors. I'm going, if there is a higher self out there, the one that has traveled the road and done it in the best way, you come and help me now at this moment. Being very, very targeted and specific.
Even because I was going to say purple love with God, because I have, I feel, because this is probably part of my personality. I'm really thinking about personalities now, but I don't like asking. It's really weird for me asking because I don't do worship, I don't do rituals, I don't give any offerings back. My offering is to be a great human being and not embarrass or disgrace my ancestors or the universe, right? So try and do my best as a person. So asking for things when I'm in dire need, I struggle with because I'm not a regular prayer. So I always have that thing. And also asking God when I don't go to church, what God am I asking? Who am I speaking to? So when I draw on my ancestors, that's who I feel more comfortable than saying, dear God. Habit makes me say God at times because that's what I've been raised as. But actually, which God am I? Who is the God I'm speaking to? I don't serve a God under a religion. So for me, it's the ancestors, and yeah, as you said, the higher being I might call on. But to say God, I don't know what God that is. So that's why I don't say God as a catch-all.
I do God as well. And again, I can be very specific when I'm going into this
God
who
is.
is that I'm going
Yes,
to.
that's
Not
it.
the God that is like people generally talk about on this earth.
Right.
You don't even know who or what force that is actually.
Exactly. That's the part.
So I'm being very specific in a targeted way of describing who she, they, them, whatever the energy is that I'm
Yes.
talking to. And
Yes.
it can be very long winded when I'm going into prayer because
It's true.
I see it as a force field. So, you may call into something and I bat that shit away. I'm
Yeah.
heading that way. I
Yeah.
need this person that I'm calling into.
Yes, you have to be specific because we take it for granted. If you're going to do this thing, and as I'm a novice in this space, so I don't profess to know all the bits and bobs that I need to call the right entity. So I'm just going to speak what I know, and hopefully they can figure it out. And yes,
Missy, you're a joker.
to be fair, that's why you got to call on them, drag them out of their sleep, whatever you guys are doing out there, you're eating and drinking and having fun. Just calm down for a second. You got to call on them.
Missy says my ancestors really do be sleeping on the job sometimes.
Yeah, you got to call on them, man. You got to call on them.
But Missy, are you doing all of the offerings? Like maybe they need a little something. They need a little chocolate. I was watching one woman. I went down a really deep rabbit hole of various people that practice hoodoo. Um, oh, it was so fascinating. It was really heartwarming. But one woman, when she wakes up, she does her coffee. She has 15 different cups that she's putting in various parts of her houses, and she's offering everybody that she is like, these are my collective ancestors that I can feel in this house. She's given them stuff. I get into practices where I will do offerings and then I fall off, and as they say, I go cold, and sometimes you got to reignite whatever your practice is. Really, another thing is people say you serve yourself first and then they'll come along. So if
Yeah.
you're being very good to yourself, I always find that my protection goes up.
Yeah. I
Whichever
think
way
it's do
energy
yourself.
works.
You
Yeah.
just got to make sure you're sitting right with yourself and sitting right. You know what's right and wrong. You literally know what's right and wrong. Bussy says, I want Africans to be freed from the clutches of religion. Amen. Nigeria and Ghana have more churches than schools. South Africa attracts every scammer paste. I am so tired. This is what makes it an easy bye. Deuces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Alrighty.
But,
That was big news.
yeah.
Big
Let's
news story.
see. Either way, I would say Diddy ain't getting bail. And if he's lucky, he's only going to do 15 years. But I don't know if Diddy's going to see outside again. I don't know if that's going to happen.
We shall watch this space with this news. Guys, I've got something for you. I've got a present for you. Those of you who are looking for your new husband or new baby father, billionaire Pavel Durov, founder of Telegram, the communications WhatsApp alternative to WhatsApp, is offering to cover IVF costs for healthy women under 38 willing to have his child through a Moscow clinic. Known for his focus on privacy and tech, Durov is now making headlines for his ambitious plan to open source his DNA, claiming he already has over 100 biological children worldwide through sperm donations. This latest move comes while Durov remains in France under investigation for Telegram's alleged role in enabling criminal activity. Despite his legal troubles, Durov insists on using his wealth to normalize sperm donation and encourage others to follow suit. His net worth is 15.5 billion, guys. FYI, Durov is among a growing group of high-profile individuals advocating for widespread reproduction. Similar stories include Dutch donor Jonathan Mercher, accused of fathering over 550 children, and Elon Musk, who has 10 children and advocates for IVF as a solution to declining birth rates. News or nonsense, guys? News or nonsense?
This is news. What is going on with these white men? They're going mad. So there was that whole documentary on the sperm donor problems and what that causes when you're out here just putting your sperm in areas where then there's siblings that don't know that they're siblings and all of that. So
Yeah.
this guy now, he's literally trying to be like, I'm going to pay for it and you're going to use my sperm.
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to know if you're a recipient of this that you could have done this to Martha 3 streets down, and me and Martha's kid eventually are like, oh my God, we love each other because they're siblings, and siblings have that attraction anyway of love, but you don't know, you think it's romantic love and not sibling love. And then people are going to start having kids. What's going on?
What's going on? Yeah. Is anyone tempted?
Oh my God.
Would anyone be tempted for a billionaire's IVF? Because it just says IVF. It doesn't actually quite, it's not quite clear, which I'm assuming if he's going to look after you. And also, I would, no one's saying it out the quiet part out loud. Would black people be on the table? Are black women?
Listen, by all accounts, those guys that were in the Netflix documentary and had been running amok in, like, I think it was Holland, was it, that they were going nuts in, parts of America, they were now setting their sights on Africa. And Kenya is having a problem now.
Oh no.
Lots of these mixed race children where it's like they're sending over their sperm there and they don't know who the dads are. But, you know, you're only supposed to do this donations to a certain quantity to avoid this mixing of genetics. So, yeah, black people are probably going to be on the target list. They are.
I didn't know. Yeah, well, I'm not that I didn't know that. That's like what do you call it? What do they call it? What's that? Sex tourism and all that stuff, right? Similarly.
Yeah, exactly. None of the Dutch guy said the kids could wear a badge to identify each other. What type of shit is this? Literally
Like
crazy. If he's a billionaire, he could. He could, you know, this is crazy. He literally could repopulate whole places by just being like, I'm just going to pay you a set wage of like 1,000.
Yeah.
He has enough resources to do that.
Yeah.
For 1 million people, he could do that for.
Shares asking, would we be entitled to child maintenance? That's what I'm asking is, are we going to get, are we, like I'm enjoining, is it going to be a factor? Are you going to get child maintenance? Are you going to get looked after being the mother of this person's? Yeah.
I can't be party to this stuff. And then why are they doing this? You know what? That's a fair question. Is this an attempt to save the white race?
Yes. What did oh God, what did I just watch or listen to? I can't remember. About, like, you know, in general, the appeal to Mexicans, the white adjacents, because you can phase out and then reintroduce and then increase the birth rates when you've got the white adjacent people if whites aren't banging in the way that they need to and reproducing the way that they need to. Yes, by all means necessary.
It's just gross. It's gross. Exactly, Mugan, incest incoming. It's just,
what I'm saying.
It's a wild notion, but also there must be something in the, you know, I always say, like, I don't like billionaires anyway. I think it's like the worst thing to happen to humanity, that people would be like, I'm going to amass so much wealth. And there has to be a God complex that comes along with that, knowing I'm one of like 30 or 50 people that have managed to amass so much wealth in this world. And then you think that everybody should have your genetics.
I've got a question, but finish that.
Yeah, it's just that. It's like it goes along with the God complex. Like, you think that you have the right to then make loads of human beings.
Yeah.
It's actually gross.
I was trying to find a picture just so you could just to set the scene. I was watching, I think it was on Joe Budden, regarding billionaires and Quincy Jones leaving his legacy to his 7 kids, and they were having a discussion about, with Mark Lamont being part of it, about whether or not if you had multi-billions or whatever, you had multi-millions, would you give every single bit to your child or to your child or children, or what would you do with your money? And then Mark was saying that he wouldn't give all of it to his kids because they don't need that much. They don't need all those millions. What he would do was give some to initiatives to then better the communities and stuff like that. What would you do with if you had multi-millions in your passing? How would you distribute it? Because I think let me get the facts.
If I was like an Elon, let's say I stumbled upon some type of invention in some way and I was great with business and I'd become a billionaire, morally, my first port of call would literally be to hand that over, a large amount to Ghana to transform the whole country. Like that would just be like my first point of call, and I would probably do that to a series of places to elevate the whole society. That would be the only way I could see me being able to sleep at night, that I had amassed so much from the world. And yeah, it wouldn't be like in my death, whatever I've got just gets split between my kids. No. It's going to go back into society, definitely. Like my children are going to be fine with a couple of million. Like, turn that into something. Do your own shit. I'm not leaving the majority to my kids. It's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm leaving them with nothing. I'm not doing that type of things that some rich and famous people do. Like, I'm not being like, you got to make your own way. You're going to have a nest egg. But the majority is going back into society.
So, because I hadn't actually thought about, because I think, like the thing is leave it to charity and then leave some to your kids. So there's elements of that. I guess what would the charity be? I wouldn't leave it to an institution like Save the Children, because I don't trust those institutions. As an example, I'm not saying Save the Children is dodgy. Okay, guys. But just relax. I'm just saying in general, I don't do that. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, initiative, because I think the counter argument to that, though everyone mostly understood where Mark was coming from afterwards, the counter to that was, well, if you've raised good children, your children will do good with the money. So if you leave it to them, it shouldn't be an issue. There's a strong argument in that too. I believe that leaving my money to my child, she will do very good with the money and wouldn't be selfish. But again, you don't know, because money can change people, and who you think is who when you're passing, they go nuts. You know what I mean? So you just don't know. And then also there's a thing where if you leave it to the initiatives, those initiatives could go nuts with the money as well and not do what you expect. And so there's all these chances and situations where it might not go the way you think. But I think best foot forward. Your children don't need, because he's worth 500 million. So they're all going to be divvied up with his 7 kids, that 500 million. They're going to be, and some of his children are already super successful.
Yeah, with a lot of money.
That's what Sora's saying. You can't be sure that the people you give your money to will follow your wishes and do the good that you want them to do, which is also a strong point.
I think it would be a part of, let's say this happens in 20 years. So I'm in my 60s. The kind of organizations, I would already be working with them to some capacity, and then I'm just leaving them the money. If I had all of that wealth, that would be where it would go. It wouldn't necessarily go directly to my kids. I would be trying to leave the world better. However it lands is how it lands. A bit like what Mike Tyson was saying. When you're gone, in it. Like legacy. I gave you the shit. I'm off. So it doesn't. I don't particularly care. I think you need your. But then I say that, but also I do think there is a level spiritually that if your name rings out in some capacity, but if there's a lot of love in you when you're going, you go somewhere else. I definitely think that. So legacy has to be led in love, and it doesn't have to be the amount of people either. So yeah, I think back in what Tyson was saying, I think there is a level of you do what you do while you're here, and then when you go, you hope you touched enough hearts, and then you go further. But it shouldn't be the be all and end all.
I think that's part, because I think legacy, we put legacy, or the weight on legacies being, it's like your name up in lights or some sort of legend. That's what legacy gets equated with. But legacy for me is that when I pass, even just you come to the people at my funeral, there's a line of people wanting to say good stories and have fun and remember me in a way that makes them feel good. Though they're sad and they're passing, they're like celebrating me. And that's the memory. I want to create joy in people's hearts and not have people be like, fuck that bitch, glad she's gone. Let me add the mud on top quickly.
Listen, I'm telling you, like, just the wealth of difference in my parents.
Yeah.
It's huge. Like, I think about that all the time. Just one, my mum going the level of stories of love to my dad passing 4 months later, and the strife that came along in his part. It's night and day.
That part alone.
You know, I have that duality in me. It really makes me think, okay, what do you want to leave with? Because you could leave like your dad.
Literally that. Because, and it's like, and when you think about it, even as you as a human being on this earth, as a parent or whoever you're in charge of, even thinking about the aftermath of what that puts you through, what that puts us through, the people on left behind sorting out the funeral. Having someone that's loved on this earth, and when they pass, the people that galvanize, because my daughter's an only child, so it would even just to lean on people to get help. I'm not helping you. Do you know what your mum did to me? Listen, fuck you. Go bury her by yourself. Dig her yourself. That part versus your mum did so much to me, or your mum did this, or your mum is that. I'm gonna support you through this because she's like, I want to be a part of this. Send off.
Precisely that was experienced. One person giving us 5K.
Yes.
Dad's church, £700. And that was like, we kind of just got to do it because he helped us in creating this church.
Exactly.
There was no love in it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to help in any way.
And that part, just for our people alone that's left behind, do we want them to struggle in our aftermath, despite leaving wills and money and stuff, all that stuff? Bussy said, one of my heroes is Alan Gray. He created an organization that focuses on providing educational opportunities to South African kids. It's a program that changed my life. You know, that's amazing.
Stuff like that. Honestly, that means a lot as well. That type of thing.
Yeah. My daughter's also an only child to me. Exactly. Everyone's saying it's important. You have to think about that. And those, legacy is a thing, but it doesn't need to be tied to wealth and I don't know, history books. It doesn't have to be that. No. It's just literally, do people smile when they think about you?
It's the love that you leave here. What did you do? What fuckeries did you leave in your wake? It's all of that. It's very real. It's very real. And I do think about it often, actually, like what would it be like when you go? What are people gonna say? What are they gonna be left with? How did you make them feel? It's all of that. And it's very glaring when you've like lived to see two people have such different stories. Who would probably, if you talk to my dad, he would be like, I helped this person. He would grandiose wherever he went. But did you really? Did you touch anybody's heart? Did you actually? You was at the parties, but did people care about you?
I'm seeing that now with my dad in his situation now. I'm seeing it now. Versus, I know my mum will have it'll be the same mirrored your experience. Same, and me and Yvonne, we've got the similar. Oh, she said, at my 50th birthday party, I felt so loved by all the tributes paid to me by my family and friends. And that's all you want. That's all you want. That's lovely. That's all you want. So that story was a big nonsense. No one's signing up to be, what's his name, Pavan's baby mother.
He's going to get people, though, you know.
He will get people. Of course he will. And to be fair, just to give you another eyeful of his white candy. For the people that go this way, he's not Butters.
I mean, for real, genetically, you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is like, is he tall? His arms look a little short actually.
Let me see Pavel Jones' height.
I feel like he's a 5'6", 5'7". Look at that.
Let's see his height.
The arm length.
He's 5'10", apparently.
Okay, let's say he's 5'8", because they always add on 2 inches. They're like
for the heels.
Yeah.
For the Cuban heels.
Yeah. He's probably about 5'8", 5'9". Okay, but genetically, cheekbones, square jaw. I think there would be women that would be like, look, I'm up for it.
Mate,
He's gonna pay for my treatment. I'm up for it.
yeah, bro. Anyway, so that was a bit of nonsense out there. We're not going to that one. This is a bit more serious now. Or which one is it? Okay, let's just go through them. What's the time? Okay. It's a bit more serious story. There's a survivors of a prison sex abuse protest. I have a video of it. So nearly 200 survivors of a abuse case in New York jails rallied in Lower Manhattan, calling out the state and city for failing to make prisons safer, despite the Adult Survivors Act of 2022, which allows survivors to sue abusers and remove the statute of limitations. Advocates say meaningful reforms remain silent. So it was just a prison thing because it's also something that happens in the UK. I've lost myself. Let me see where that is. I think they were talking about it. Did I find it? Oh no. I think I've lost it.
Oh.
But is it this one?
I've not heard of this one though, you know.
Let me see if it's this one. Yes, here we go.
Okay.
Right. Let me share the screen. Yeah, I just saw it, and then I did try and look at what happens in the UK. We've had one or two cases, not as big as this, but it has also happened in the UK. All right, let me get back to the beginning. And
nearly 200 sexual assault survivors gathered with a message in Lower Manhattan. They say that there's been no action from the state or the city to make jails safer. And they tell Lisa Rosner it comes 1 year after a new state law gave them more power to get justice from their abusers.
When I was raped, I didn't have a microphone in front of me. I didn't have ears to listen to me.
Tasha Carter Beasley said she entered Rikers Island on a robbery charge in the 90s. She said she's one of around 24 women raped by the same correction officer known as Champagne.
I never thought that I'd be standing here.
She stood in Foley Square alongside nearly 200 survivors of sex abuse in New York jails. And next to them was civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump.
We are victims no more.
The Adult Survivors Act, signed in 2022, gave survivors 1 year to sue their abusers and eliminated the statute of limitations. Survivor lawyers say more than 2,000 cases were filed. Roughly 30% are from Rikers in the dark blue.
Wow.
At New York State prisons.
We have a state that I believe hasn't even thoroughly acknowledged that this is happening.
The survivors criticized the governor, saying she has not acknowledged their pain or taken any action.
It existed for a long time before I arrived in the system, and it continues to this day.
The governor's office referred us to the State Department of Corrections, who said in part it has zero tolerance for sexual abuse. And in 2022, it implemented updated policies, including deploying body-worn cameras. It added the department does not comment on pending litigation. In Foley Square, Lisa Rosner, CBS News, New York.
As for Rikers, a spokesperson for the New York Department of Correction told us that it takes claims of sexual misconduct seriously and such behavior will not be tolerated. The department, though, cannot comment further due to pending litigation. Nearly 200.
I hope they get justice. I mean, Rikers seemed like it was absolute hell.
yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
For decades, like hell, like literal hell on earth. Oh God, man.
And just to say that it's not just America. The UK has also faced serious issues with sexual abuse in prisons. Notably, Medomsley Detention Centre became infamous for decades of abuse, with former officers convicted in 2019 for their actions. Reports show a rise in sexual assaults within UK prisons, increasing from 113 to 228 cases between 2012 and 2014. And despite updated policies and government efforts to tackle the problem, advocacy groups argue more robust measures are needed to protect inmates and assure accountability. So just wanted to say that it's happening in the UK, and Rikers is one, but we know that yes, it's got a problem. That's one of the biggest kind of infamous prisons, but it said 60% of other correctional facilities. It's widespread. It's widespread. And you can imagine the corrupt system. And we understand, we always have our kind of, there's the prisoners are inside for doing this, that, and the other, but you're going for robbery. You shouldn't come out as a rape victim.
You absolutely shouldn't be graped while you're in there. It's like it's crazy. And this guy, the champagne that is being named by dozens of people, he's probably out here still scot-free, like sunning himself somewhere. It's actually crazy. And for them to say they have a zero tolerance, you don't have a zero tolerance.
And I do. I mean, I understand. I think what was the documentary on Netflix, the prison series that I don't know. It was good, but also possibly exploitative. I'm not sure where I landed it. I need to rewatch it again. But what was it called? The one where they were inside the jail and they gave them that experiment where they gave them their freedoms in order to help themselves, to let them self-govern themselves. I understand that keeping criminals in control is difficult. I'll say that. I just cannot stand by that it has to become a corrupt system in order to keep them controlled. But I'm not in the system. And I'm not justifying any bad behavior. I just don't understand why it has to be wicked, why it has to reflect the criminals that are inside. How does it happen?
Oh God. I mean, it's a cesspit. Going back to even Diddy, that's why they had the whole jail be ransacked and actually collecting evidence, because it was to say that this place is inhumane. So they wanted to check the level of inhumanity that was going on in this jail place. And so they did a whole clean sweep and took away evidence of this as well. There's a problem, isn't it? It's like, this is why, prisons don't particularly work. You're sending people to somewhere, and within that institution, lots of different forms of criminality happen. And if it's a guard that's doing it, they can get away with it. So there are elements of people who will present themselves as we can uphold the law, who are criminals. The same in the police force, because that there's a level of like anonymity that you will get by being in that position of power. So we have to, I feel, and the same as the police, you've got to come down on them harder when they do things that are wrong, not the other way around. They should be punished vehemently because they had a position of power.
Exactly. I'm just finding the picture. Here's a picture of, I think I found a picture of Keith Fan.
Oh, Bissy saying, please look at the prison system in Norway.
Oh, wow. Why?
Norway's on my list of places. I always say, I don't want to go. There's something about Norway I'm scared of.
Like, really? It's like a utopia. That is it a real utopia?
Oh, it doesn't sit well. I don't know. I don't even know where I got this fear of Norway from.
Sorry, that's the guy. That's his real name's Keith Fant. That's Champagne. So
you're right.
He was black. I mean, I thought from when he's called Champagne.
Yeah.
And also when they do that wide casting the net because they say they've got lack of numbers, and who will withstand being in that environment, you're going to go to people that haven't. I don't want to say that all prison people are uneducated or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a personality and a type and a life situation that must be the right fit for this space.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I know people that have gone into that space, realize that what they do, their do good intentions are not, because their do good intentions are not working, they leave because they cannot be in that place and be a part of a system that knows how to fix itself but refuses to.
Yes. So
if you can be part of a system that you can see is visibly broken, and your efforts are not going to change things. And I'm not disputing that there are people in there like, if my presence stops 100% nonsense, at least my presence curtails more that could go on. There's those people, and then there's people that just like, fuck it, it is what it is.
I'm a part of this. Yeah. No, definitely. It is a crazy situation. We had a lovely woman that worked with us in Hub and Culture, and she was a prison officer part-time at Pentonville, and she'd been working in the prison service for 20 years, and that was more her stance. It's like, it's better I'm a part of this, because when it runs better if I'm there. And then when I'm not there and I come back in, I'm hearing stories from people. And she was like, the real problem is the age of officers that they were letting in to the job. But it's like they're getting people who have just finished uni.
Exactly.
and you're having to deal with complex personalities, and they have no clue on life. So she was like, they'll be twanged by somebody who is just running simple manipulation games on them, but
Exactly.
they don't know about manipulation. So then before you know it, they're bringing them in contraband, and then they've lost their job. So it was very interesting talking to her. I really, really liked her because it was just such an interesting take. You would never think she was a prison officer if you met her, and she was making her crafty bits, but she was like, "Yeah, no,
That was
I'm
always
in there 3 days a week." Yeah, it was so interesting. I love talking to her.
her calming
But yeah.
outlet was crafts. I was going to say, just to give some background on Champagne, it's a nickname of a former correction officer at Rikers Island, identified as Keith Fant, who's been accused of essaying 24 female inmates during his tenure at the Rose M. Singer Center, the women's facility on Rikers Island. The allegations span from the late 1980s to the early 2000s, with claims that Fant, known as Champagne due to his bubbly personality, groped, and forcibly kissed women in their cells or secluded areas of the jail. He denied all allegations, stating that he never engaged in inappropriate conduct with inmates and suggesting that the accusations are financially motivated. Okay, these lawsuits were filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act, which opened a year, as I said. So just knowing, I guess this is ongoing. He's in jail, or wherever he is. They're trying to sort it out now. Prison inmate, we get ice cream and flowers. Okay, I'm looking for that.
Okay, thank you, Bissy. All right, so this is Norway's prisons. I mean, Christian Jane was saying, "Nana, you scared of white people in Norway?" Laugh out loud. I'm too, sort of. It's a part of it. It definitely is a part of it, and I don't know where this developed from, but there was something. Maybe I watched and I was literally like, you know what, Norway's not for me. I don't think I'm ever going to go there. It was on the people and the country and the way it was set up. I was literally, I don't think this is a place for me at all.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
1 second. Wait for the advert to go. I've not thought of that, but it is very much posted as, the safe haven for humans because they're so neutral and nice. But I mean, for blacks, I'm always wondering.
Yeah.
Wherever we go, like, do they really want us?
Scandinavian countries go, I probably would only go to Sweden.
Okay.
There's a no shoes policy.
No shoes policy. So I have to put on some slippers because we like to keep it clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you show me around?
Yeah, of course.
What do you like about this house?
I love my grill.
It felt like we were visiting somebody's house for the first time, and they were excited to show us around.
So this is your room?
This is my room.
Oh.
Wow. Big.
Yeah.
Got your TV.
TV, DVD.
Marlboro.
Closet. Clothes. I have my own sheets, everything,
How's the bed? Comfortable?
Yeah, but the bed is comfortable. Sit.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like a college dorm.
Except it's not. This is a minimum security prison in Norway called Bolstøy, where Dardan is serving a 1-year sentence for drug trafficking.
I have my washing machine, my dryer, and I have my shower. Brand new. Boom.
So these are heated floors.
These are heated floors.
You don't see that in most prisons.
Oh, I know.
How do you think Americans will react when they see this prison?
They're going to think we're crazy here in Norway.
Why?
You guys have another view on prison. You're like really punishing these people. It's like they're animals.
North Dakota has been implementing some of Norway's principles, which boasts one of the lowest recidivism rates in the world, while the United States has one of the highest rates of people cycling in and out of prison. In Norway, prisoners have keys to their own bedrooms, fully furnished living rooms and kitchens with sharp knives to cook with. There's 5-star cooking classes, painting, and they even have a fully equipped recording studio.
Do you feel like this is prison?
Your freedom is taken from you. You cannot go to the store. You cannot see your children when you want. Of course, I'm still in prison.
We want them to have a normal life. We punish them by taking away their freedom, but we don't take away their life.
In Norway, there's no such thing as a lifetime sentence, so they believe prison should look and feel like everyday life.
The prison system isn't there to inflict pain and be punitive, but is to actually try to get that person to be a better citizen.
Prison needs to be an uncomfortable situation. Inmates are in prison as a punishment.
Sam Mitchum worked as a corrections officer for years, most recently at North Dakota's maximum security prison. He says adapting Norway principles to U.S. prisons won't work.
Their country is not that big. They don't have the predatory instincts like the criminals here do.
Wow.
They don't have the gang problems. They don't have the drug problems.
Norway has murderers, they have criminals, drug dealers. But you don't think it can work here?
I don't. I think the way that they were brought up there, their way of thinking is not the way the criminal element here thinks.
It's too soon to tell if the Norway changes are working to bring down North Dakota's recidivism rate. The new data won't be available until 2020 or later.
Wow. Oh, I would love to see how.
Find the stats.
Yeah, how that worked out either way. That is so interesting. I mean, their prison looks quite fun, but I don't know if it needs to go that way, but somewhere in between, I think I'll sit with that's how a prison should be.
But let's also notice this was low-level crimes as well, and what's their low level? It's not murderers. I'm just trying to Google and see what their information is about on their high-level crimes. So low level, because we criminalize weed possession and stuff like that, where this is like, okay, you had weed, so you go to this prison. That type of shit makes sense. So that's very easy when you're just like carrying weed and you're doing petty stuff. You should be in a place like that. It's just very easy to do that. The interesting thing is the American guy saying that, you know, we have different Americans, sorry to generalize, but whenever there's a conversation about what the rest of the world does versus what America does, there's always this thing, oh no, they're not like us, basically. We have it, we're worse, we're harder, we're stronger, we're better, we're bigger, we're all this stuff. When it's like, you guys, yes, there might be a bit of a culture, but it's shifting the culture because humans are all, I haven't got those stats. So country to country, human to human, aren't we all just the same? And it's just about the environment that we're in that shapes us.
I would think so. I feel like his arguments were redundant because you're trying to say the people in Norway are more humane than we are in America. Like, it was like, what are you actually trying to say, really? Because it should be, if it's working there and they are not going to prison in the same levels that they are over here where it's stricter, should it not suggest that the American prison system isn't working? Should that not actually, maybe we need to do something else then?
But then because it's turned into industrialized, privatized business, they're not going to. Because it sounded like brainwash as well.
You're not trying to do rehabilitation then. You know that we want you in this institutional cycle because it makes us money. Throw your hands up and say this is what it is.
Yeah. So what I found is in 2015, North Dakota's Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation initiated reforms inspired by Norway's prison system, emphasizing rehabilitation and humane treatment. These changes led to a significant reduction in the use of solitary confinement by nearly 75% between 2016 and 2020. This is sourced from the National Internet Justice Portal. Both incarcerated individuals and correctional staff reported increased trust and reduced antagonism, with staff experiencing enhanced job satisfaction and reduced stress. As of November 2024, North Dakota continues to implement these Norwegian-inspired practices, maintaining its commitment to a rehabilitative correctional approach. And back to Norway's general system, approximately 70% of Norway's prisons are classified as high security. They're designed to balance security with rehabilitation. Holden, one of the popular ones, offers private cells with ensuite bathrooms, communal areas, and access to educational and vocational programs, all aimed at preparing inmates for reintegration into society. And it's considered one of the safest countries globally. Low crime rate. Over the past decade, the number of criminal offences has decreased by approximately 90,000 cases. In 2021, the country registered 800,000, whatever the number is, a big number of offences, marking a nearly 7% reduction from the previous year. So they still have crime, but their approach is different.
And it's a lot less than anywhere else, definitely. Yeah. I just wonder how safe are Black folks there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's something with Norway. Like, you know, I ain't got to go everywhere.
No, it's not every country need to be.
Yeah.
But, so that's a bit of news. which was
Oh, interesting. That is really interesting. I wish like more places would look at different ways to do prison systems, though.
they do. I think so because you just applying this there. But it is that like you're just inherently bad. But also when you rule out environment, situation, previous trauma, and just say you're a bad person. And I mean it for every single crime. That does not mean to say I justify and defend every single crime, but every single crime, because everything gets tarnished like you're a criminal. Yes, we have levels of empathy for various levels of it, but every crime, from the very worst you can imagine to the lowest, has to have that mindset implemented in order to fix them, if you can. And it doesn't also mean that they go free. It's someone who's done the worst heinous crime. And I understand those who are advocates of the death penalty. I understand those who are the victims of brutality and the worst kind of crime you can imagine. I understand that you put them under the jail, they should die. I understand that. I really, really do. And maybe there is an element where that works. But if we remove the death penalty of things, there's a level of, so how does that person pay for what they've done? Because just punishing them, they're just punished and they in jail living. So what can you turn their badness into positivity? Maybe it is they contributing to the making of the country that they're in better in some way, shape or form, but where they're not also being exploited. I don't know. I might be seeming very lily-livered, but
I think this is a solution. You treat people humanely and you take you take away part of their freedoms. As the guy said, I can't see my kids. So it's not like you can do whatever you want, but I don't have to be treated like an animal.
Yeah.
I don't have to be caged up. And especially when you go into the prison stats of how so many people end up there anyway, like just the sheer amounts that are in single parent families, that were in poverty, it's like you're double punishing them when actually loads of people, being expelled. So if you educated more people, you treated them fairly, they were in sanitary conditions, you don't know what that will flourish in a human being.
Yeah, I think that's
why can't we go down that way instead of it being like you're caged up for 23 hours a day in a cell where your toilet is in there with you, where you're supposed to be brushing your teeth next to your toilet? Like, why do we have to do that to human beings? Yeah. And then free them and expect that they are going to be functional in society.
And also because that whole thing of like jail shouldn't be like this place, but it's like it doesn't, having a hard, you've got the worst bed, the worst sheet, it's cold, the food's shit, but all of that, and then you might have a video game, you might get to watch videos, or you might get to have, certain visions a little bit cushy. I don't know if that's not a deterrent. It has not been a deterrent. When they say that throw the book at them, you carry a knife, you get 25 years in jail, that's not a deterrent, because the situation when you're in it doesn't stop you. There's a few people that say, and they're never going to go to jail because then they just know they're not going to do those type of things. But generally, people who are going to do crime are going to do crime because of the situation or how their genetic makeup has genetically made them. So you're not going, it doesn't care. They don't care about the jail being shit. And
it doesn't mean anything. I think it's just that if you truly are saying it's for rehabilitation, or you want people to come out and be functioning in society, this isn't what you would do. So we know that has to be an element of this is just legalized slavery.
Exactly. And with Americans, I mean, in the UK, you have a few, when you come out and you're not as tethered to your criminal past as you are in, I think, America in comparison. I don't know any other Western country that has the same kind of thing as America, but we know that America, you are so tethered to your criminal past that it's hard to even move forward, where you can't vote and then you can't get certain jobs, and it's just like an absolute.
Oh, no, we have that here. It's like it's got to be on your file for 6 years.
Okay, I wondered how, because it just seems
hilarious. Yeah, you have to declare what you've done if you've got a criminal record. Like, it's damn hard to get a job here once you leave prison.
Okay.
Especially if you've done like drugs, any type of drug charges, and you can't travel in the same way. It's like it's the same.
Okay, well, I thought, because I think I was looking at. I mean, I feel like I knew this. I felt like this, but it seemed like it's heightened a lot more from the American perspective. So I just wanted to know from the UK what that looks like. Look at young offenders. The officers in there are scared of the young people in there, as most of gang members. And that's the thing. Being a prison officer, we understand that you're potentially putting your life on the line in that respect. There's times when it's like it's absolutely precarious. I understand that. That's why I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I guess the environment fosters that though. But I really thought we was going into a little house when he was walking.
Yeah, it was like,
I was like, oh, where's this going? Because
Yeah.
it just looked like a little house. And why should it not actually? You know, if it's working there, why should, even if you had all of the different systems, could you not trial it here as well and just see how that works? Like a humane prison system.
Yeah.
Let's just see. It would be interesting, especially for the young offenders. Actually, like,
Yeah.
do they have to be cooped up in the same way as big man prison for another term, and then expected to come out and be functional when they generally they're around other criminals and they learn more?
Yeah.
And they come out with a rep.
Exactly. All right, so that's a big bit of news. This is a kind of another philosophical one to look at. This conversation, I don't know if you saw it. Oh, it's playing before I'm ready. I don't know if you saw this conversation. This guy was just talking to a white guy speaking on why they fear immigrants. And I thought this is a bit of news, a bit of perspective. It's here. Let's go. Did you see this clip?
You voted for Donald Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States. If you were to deport all illegal immigrants, if you were to think very hard about letting in any Muslims, all of this would slow the rate at which whites are becoming a minority.
Why are you so worried about the white dispossession?
I think, do you know what? I should have played that with the IVF conversation, to be fair. But yeah, it was just an interesting point. Small point, just an interesting little perspective of what him saying it out loud.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did see it. It is an interesting. I guess we know that that's behind a lot of white people, if they're honest, with why they would vote for Donald Trump. In the same way, it's like everybody else is like, oh my God, Project 2025. You have to think there is a large majority that are like, we would love most of what they are saying in Project 2025 to come into fruition.
Yeah.
So then you have to think about, but they are the majority in this space. Do I want to live with them? Like, and it's not everybody that has the means to be able to leave, but there are still some people that do. And do you want to stay there, or do you want to take your life in your hand and be like, yeah, this isn't the place for me anymore. I want to leave here.
There are a few people, celebrities, talking about leaving, but I don't know if they're just talking. Sometimes celebrities just need to move in silence and not announce to the world what they're doing. Just do it and then be evidential in your intention.
I saw Eva Longoria saying she was moving. She goes Italy or something.
Yeah, and I think Gabby was it? No, Taraji P. Henson said something. There's a few people that in there leaving X and moving out of the country, but I just don't want it to be performative. If you're going to do it. Just do it. If you're doing it, and what difference are you making in the leaving? Because just leaving, I'm not sure, because you will continue to work in Hollywood. You will continue to have ties to America potentially. You're not leaving. If you leave, you have to leave, I think, if you're going to make that statement.
Yeah. I agree, Celine. Like, just leave quietly, because it's an insult to those who are in danger and can't. Just go about your. People leave places all the time, and it's like the grandstanding. I mean, even all of the people leaving Twitter. Just leave. We don't need it's been fun, guys. Just go about it.
I think there's the of it all. Don't do that. I think that's something that could be known. Like, I'm leaving X because of these principles, because that's an inspiration. Because that's a move. I think. Actually, maybe I'm contradicting myself.
I don't think anybody gives a hoot, Annie.
No, I think it's more about inspiring the move. I think it's okay. You know what it is? If you're leaving, what are you doing as well? Because just leaving Twitter is so easy, because you're still on Insta, you're still on YouTube, you're still on TikTok. So what is leaving and announcing going to do. I think you have to do the all-encompassing. It has to be more of a movement than leaving Twitter. Because to be fair, if you're still successful on another platform, that means you're not really leaving social media. It's not. Elon Musk isn't going to care. I think that's the part. What's your full 360 action around leaving social media and announcing it?
I don't think Elon gives a hoot.
He doesn't.
It'd probably be like, thanks. Thanks for going.
It's more significant if people, the Republican, the right wingers left for whatever reason. Liberal do-gooders, as they're seen, they were like, yeah, great, go, bye.
Yeah. Leave more space on the algorithm for everybody else. Yeah, and people are going to Blue Sky. I keep on meaning to create that account for us.
Blue Sky. Haven't seen it before. Who runs it?
I haven't. It's just where people are running to. I'm coming.
Let's have a look. I haven't seen who founded Blue Sky. Let's have a look. Who founded? This is what Blue Sky looks like, guys. Present, share screen. This is what Blue Sky looks like. I've not seen it before. It looks bloody like Twitter for sure. Let's go to this. So this is what this is very much like Twitter. Let me see who founded it. Jack Dorsey. Oh, no. The co-founder and former CEO of Twitter. Okay, Dorsey initiated Blue Sky as a project within Twitter in 2019, envisioning it as an open and decentralized protocol for social networking. The platform became an independent entity in 2022. Okay, so it's by Jack Dorsey, his version of Twitter. Let's go, I guess. And it's in the same format as Twitter, which is wild. Is anybody on it? Has anyone used it? Let's have a look. People are moving to Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky now, but Twitter still has news. So does Blue Sky not have news? It's open source. Hey, aunties. Hi, Destiny. Sorry. Yes, we couldn't do Friday, so we moved to this afternoon. Don't worry, you can watch on the replay. But we're just talking about, gosh, I lost my train of thought what we were talking about. We were talking about this white man that spoke about his reason why he was fearful of immigrants and why he voted for Trump, because basically if Trump follows through on getting rid of the immigrants, the white population will be more prosperous and thriving. And then we got onto the conversation of why celebrities leaving X and apparently leaving the country, leaving America after Trump's win. And then we're just now discussing Blue Sky, which is a new social media platform launched by Jack Dorsey, who was the co-founder of Twitter.
That was it. Yes, it's Jack Dorsey's new venture.
Yeah.
And it is supposed to be open source, isn't it? It's like, it gives I was watching somebody talk about it and they were saying it's just better all round.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave Twitter. I'm announcing I'm leaving X and moving to Blue Sky.
It's like we may as well, because overall, Aunties has never done well on Twitter anyway.
British
maybe let's give it a try. Early adopters, innit? Let's see what we can create over there.
I couldn't get it with Threads, but to be fair, if Blue Sky's like Twitter, I'm used to that. I'm used to that format, so if it does work like Twitter, it's good. And also because the thing that's kept me on X is we barely use it for the British Blacklist, but I started, British Blacklist is 12 years old on Twitter, and we had a moment and a history and a following on Twitter that's nostalgic, and I guess I've got links to articles and stuff, but it's no mean feat. Start afresh. I'll delete it. I think I'm going to delete it.
Okay. I'm Awake says, I made the move to Blue Sky. It's so nice. Mass blocking is a game changer.
Nice.
Oh.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to start.
As well and see. That's the thing, isn't it? We've never had a focus or a Twitter strategy with Aunties to be like what we're going to do on Twitter anyway. We're just reposting and it doesn't even always post. I forget.
I always forget. I'm going to sign up to Blue Sky right now for the British Blacklist. This is a moment, guys. You're with me.
Thing is saying, you're screen sharing.
Oh, am I?
Yes.
Oh, well, at least you can't see my password, and I did not know I was screen sharing. I shall stop screen sharing. Thank you very much, darling.
So I weren't even looking at what she was doing.
I wasn't. I didn't realize I'd done that, but yes. you'll see is my email for the British Blacklist. I'm going to put in our birth date as 12 years old. I might put my own. This is fun.
Elia says, I just use Twitter when I'm watching reality TV like Love Island or BB. I'm a celeb. Apart from that, I don't use it. Okay. Oh, for everybody who's going to be watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Some of you may know that my friend Melvin O'Doom is going to be on it. So every evening, me and my husband will do a live recap, and we will be joined by Ricky Hayward Williams, who is also
Yay!
Melvin, but do that. He'll probably come on like once or twice a week. His sister Yona has gone out to Australia as well, so we'll be doing lives with her. So she'll give us a behind the scenes type of what's going on in the camp with all of the family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we will be doing that from Meant to Excel, which is also linked into follow all of the aunties. You'll see Meant to Excel and you'll see a picture of me and my husband there. So please follow us and join the lives. I don't even know what time that will be. Will that be like 10:30? Around 10:30 around there will be live.
I like this idea.
Yeah. Yes, it starts tonight at 9. So please join us. And as soon as they start voting, vote to keep Melvin in or whatever the voting scale is. I can't even remember.
You have to. We're biased by force. We want Melvin to win. So yeah, I have decided to sign up. I've hit a point. So let me stop and do it later.
Oh, ITV pay for the families to go as well. I'll ask her.
What?
Pay
the family.
I'll ask her if she got paid to go. I'm not actually sure how that works. We were all wondering who's going to go because also Yona has 3 children.
Oh,
yeah. The boys are maybe 2 years old now, and her daughter's like 4, so they're little. So we wasn't sure who. And I did think, I can't see Auntie flying to Australia.
That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, he got, and him and his sister are super close. So that's probably
amazing.
Yeah.
Cat Rocks has signed up to Blue Sky. Look, Mr. Jack Dorsey, did you see what we've just done? You better fling some money in the tin, please. Fling Auntie's pot. Okay, so let's move on to another news story.
I think he would do good, but join us tonight and I'll answer all your questions as well.
Yes, that's amazing. I'm very excited for Meant to Excel. We're going to excel because we are meant to excel. Malcolm,
that's from my tattoo, isn't it?
What?
From my Chinese tattoo. That's how we got the name.
Which
I don't know if that is on my Chinese tattoo, but when I got my tattoo,
verified.
No, I was telling somebody, who was it that somebody was in the chat one time and I was like, should I take a picture of my tattoo and you can tell me? But I don't think they ever got back to me. So I don't know. I saw it on the wall and it said different special Meant to Excel. And I was like, that's literally me. I would like that symbol, please. And then when we were trying to come up with the name for the company, I was like, I think we should just call it Meant to Excel because that's what we all are. And all of the guys were like, yeah. And so that was the company name, Meant to Excel.
I love that. Bussy says she can read Chinese. Show her now.
Oh, serious? No, it's this arm.
Ding, 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 ding.
Unravel.
You're getting auntie soft porn. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to delete my. Should I do that? Am I being? Is
it close enough? Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to take a picture. You can't even see it. I'll take a picture of it. See, I'm gonna take a picture and put it in our community area, and you can say if it says different special Meant to Excel.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, I will take a picture, Bussy.
Now, hold on.
Mr. Beast, I saw you put him on the dock. I was like, what is going on with him?
Okay, so I was going to go to Mr. Beast. We got Malcolm X's family. Do you want to go to Mr. Beast first? Where's Mr. Beast?
I don't actually have it up, so yeah, if you
hold on, let me find it. Oh gosh, I put so much on here.
I thought I was actually following what was going on with
Mr. Beast.
I was like, I do not know.
No, I put that on the Auntie's doc, to be fair.
How is it?
Yeah, it's not on this one because there's. Let me go to. It's on the Auntie's doc.
All right, what is taking place with Mr. Beast? So he has been sued. I read Mr. Beast is being sued by
a bunch of women,
female contestants for
Yeah.
misogyny. And I was like, Mr. Beast, who was buying houses in Jamaica, Mr. Beast, he was like, you know, restoring people's sight in some country in Africa. Like, what is going on with Mr. Beast?
Okay, so allegations. Whoa. Okay.
Cher says it says now property of China.
What is that? Oh, I thought it was fighting for real. I got scared. Okay, Okay, let's go. Mr. Beast probe ends with some. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. Let me go to this document.
Destiny Love says Mr. Beast is all kinds of wrong.
I need to understand because I think. Okay, Mr. Beast probe ends with some employees fired but finds no proof of sexual misconduct allegations. This is the wonderful Mr. Beast. And online video production company Mr. Beast said Friday it has fired between 5 to 10 employees following an investigation into the YouTube empire's workplace culture. They haven't said the amount of numbers. Several isolated instances of workplace harassment and misconduct, according to a 2-page letter sent Friday by Alex Spiro, a trial lawyer who led the investigation by White Shoe. The nearly 3-month probe concluded that there was no basis behind the allegations that Mr. Beast team members committed sexual misconduct or knowingly employed people with proclivities or histories toward illegal or questionable legal conduct.
Wow.
So that's that. He's been investigated and we cannot speculate because it's been found that he has not. So the thing is, it's very easy for me to say Mr. Beast is a problem, but I don't watch him enough. I feel funny about white people in Black countries doing good because of which sounds mad to say, but I do find I just want to check the 360. What's their intention? What's their real, what are they really trying to do? I haven't watched him enough or followed him enough to have a very fair, rounded viewpoint of my opinion of him because I can lean on the lazy assumption I don't like him, and that's it.
I mean, you know what? You're right. Biss is saying Mr. Beast content is so exploitative. It is. It really is. But it's that allure of wealth. Loads of people are gonna do some really like gross things in order to get like that 100K.
Oh, that stuff. That kind of like, what will you do for 100K?
Yeah, like put themselves through, living in some shitty conditions.
That's
for
like
100 days to win, but it's a lot of money.
And it's like I'm a celebrity. If we're gonna,
No, it is. You're gonna do some things, and it's like he's created a whole Mr. Beast universe from it.
Okay. Is this Destiny Love? Is this proven? Not proven in that way, but allegedly he was involved in some shady shit. Allegedly he had a PDF working with him, and his best friend was the one that transgender and was talking to underage boys in a personal group chat. Okay, so
yeah. I mean, the guy that he's changed his name now. When he was on Mr. Beast, he was called Chris. I can't remember what he's transitioned and he's got another name, but he was talking to people, and it did come out, and he was talking through a Discord that was a part of the Mr. Beast network as well. So all of those messages came out, and he was sacked from the company. And yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. I'm looking. I wasn't a fan of Mr. Beast. Was just their whole world had a lot of white males in it, and it just didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
When my kids were watching it, it just wasn't a thing that was like, watch Mr. Beast. There was nothing to look up to with his content.
I've looked, yes, thank you, Cher, and thank you, Destiny. I wasn't questioning you like that. I've heard the rumors, but I just wanted to get the core facts. And it was said in August 2024, allegations emerged that Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, had knowingly employed a registered sex offender referred to as Delaware in his production team. This individual appeared in videos wearing a mask to conceal his identity. Whoa, the activist were brought forward by a former employee and was supported by another ex-employee. Weddle claimed that Mr. Beast was aware of the individual's criminal background and took measures to hide it. Chris Tyson, a longtime collaborator and friend of Mr. Beast, publicly came out as a transgender woman in July 23. Tyson has been a prominent figure in Mr. Beast's videos and has openly discussed her transition journey, but is saying that there's no evidence to suggest that Tyson has engaged in inappropriate interactions with young people. And Mr. Beast company has
messages all came out, like they were all released, and it was inappropriate. It was like you're talking to somebody that's like a watcher, you find out their age and you carry on talking to them. You're firmly in your 20s, and then you're like, do you like me? Do you love this? Like, it's just, you don't need to talk to that. It's a child. And you guys are seen as celebrities. You know, it's just, you don't need to talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, rich white men scare me. So
yeah, there's something about it. There's just something about it. I'm just always a little uneasy that there just was no other color in his production team, unless he was doing like collaboration. So, you know, he had done stuff with Beta Squad, like, but just within his worldview, it was just very white male, and that also made me nervous.
The thing is, sure, have at it. That's sure. My world's very black, and probably more black women and black men, just because. So I'm again all good, but just because of history, it doesn't sit well with me as a black woman. But you can do what you want if all your friends are white men. That's your. It's the stepping into the black spaces and doing good that are those that I'm not going to knock you building a well and refurbishing schools and stuff. Do that. Yes, spend your billions and millions on that. Yes, I just want to know the whole agreement and transaction of that. Does that come with anything? Is there any kind of I don't know, is there strings attached to that? Is it part of a wider programming? Because I'm suspicious, and I think as a black woman I have the right to be super suspicious of any do-gooding white person in that capacity.
I mean, I wonder what happened with the Jamaican houses and everything and all of that. Yeah, he's making so much more from the videos of his charity. I mean, when they upload, it's like 40 million, 100 million views. Like, it's crazy numbers that Mr. Beast can do.
And I don't look. We're all in this space, and we dream for those numbers. So that part of it is what it is. If you know, if people want to follow someone, I don't know what. Again, I don't know always. I've seen some of it when I started to hear of him. But it's like, it's not for me. But if it's for people, cool. If you're a good person, be good and do that. Go forth. You just need to know the bits that are not right before start contributing to those things.
Yes. Celine says he started as a teenager streaming on YouTube. His circle are his friends and other YouTubers. He also did the nasty lunchly with KSI and Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't criticize him getting rich off likes and views because I'm doing it too. So
yeah, man does 100 million views. The views are insane. I mean, his work rate also is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And just from even how, he came into my worldview from going down the rabbit hole on who's doing well on YouTube and watching his videos. And obviously it's like, it's a whole different space to what we're in. There's very little that we can adopt from him, but thumbnails, there is stuff that I've picked up from Mr. Beast in watching his content, trying to be choppier, like really just the advice that he gives in every video you do, your next one should be better. Like that is every time I'm editing the next one, I want to do something new. Something else to experiment with to see, like, does that influence anything? Was it better to watch? Can I watch this video 5 times over myself? And if I can do that, then I know we've hit a good one. Like the amount of times I've watched China, I still think that's one of our best. Although the comments are crazy, but even the fact that it's amassed so many comments, that's what you want on a video.
You
want it to be polarizing to some degree without selling out your integrity. It's not every week we can hit those points, but you know, when we do, it's a good vid.
Bussy's saying, but you're not exploiting people to get the views. No, but again, it's back to if you watch I'm a Celebrity, if you watch Big Brother, if you watch America's Next Top Model, if you watched all these shows, people are being exploited every day for them to make money and for the production company behind it to get money as well. Everyone's in it for the money. So I think we have to be really not mindful. It's not that deep, but it is we have to look at it because
kids do watch nonsense.
Yeah, kids watch nonsense and humans watch nonsense. Listen, you guys, who was it that turned us on to ASMR? Hey, my God.
It wasn't Cher. It was Cher. It was Cher.
Cher.
Cher took us down that rabbit hole of nonsense.
Freaking argument, that fake argument that people are, and the sick moment. Oh my God. We've got to figure it out, man. There's a lot of, I mean, whatever he does, whatever people want to choose, but it's just don't be a dickhead, don't be a bastard, don't be evil, don't be wicked.
I know it's
and sometimes when you're running, and again, I'm not speaking to defend, but I think maybe I'm not covering my ass in that respect, but it is so easy for me as a black woman who's politically black and is about black power and black empowerment to not like anybody white and rich and to be very easily like they're dickheads, they're evil, they're wicked, they're racist and all that type of stuff. It's easy to say that. So in doing this and putting it out there and having these conversations, just have to be mindful of what my points are and stuff like that. No, Shay, I'm not mean.
I honestly don't watch any of those shows. I have to be mindful of not watching something that would make me judgmental and egotistical.
That's interesting. That's interesting because yeah, I generally don't like reality shows full stop, but I watch the only one I watch that's of the people realm is Love Is Blind now, because I have that romanticism of falling in love. And then I like watching fashion reality shows like Project Runway was my joy, and Top Chef, competitive with skills. That's my thing.
That's your reality bag.
Yeah.
I love them all. I like the top. I like all of the comps.
Please, you have to hold me accountable.
Reality bits as well. I have a love-hate relationship with the Real Housewives franchise, though. I really do, because it's like, if I can truly suspend all disbelief that they are in effect actors, I can deal with it. Real life actors, I can but still what they're putting out there, it bothers me. Just from what they're showing of a friendship, of black women, like, it really bothers me. But then dramatically, there's so much drama to it. It's thrilling as well. But I hate what they're putting out there in terms of like what sisterhood is. It's just vicious.
Have said it before. I despise them. My first of those when it was Love and Hip Hop. I watched the first season of Love and Hip Hop and I liked it. And then when I realized, and again, it's always at the beginning when it's like what's the word? When you're studying people, not philanthropic, what's the other one? Whatever it is, social something. When you're watching it from that perspective, anthropologic or something, watching it from that perspective, that's where it's interesting to me to really watch what humans do. But then, and how it expands when people understand that to do this is money and to do this is viewership, and then it gets ramped up and amped up for. I don't like it, and I do not like how it has either enhanced or destroyed or changed the narrative of what Black sisterhood, as you said, is. We don't snap our necks, bitches, and it's spurned a generation of women who think like that and act like that. And it wasn't that before. It enhanced this that you can't even trust your best friend around your man. That has been enhanced by this culture. This wasn't something that we grew up. Yes, you might have a shady chick once, but it was never this thing where you can't even trust your best friends, your best girlfriends. That was never a thing in my growing up. And I'm not saying it didn't exist, but this, and maybe it was something, a seed that was planted that, I don't know. I cannot stand any of the
I think it's like the drama of it all was attracting more viewers, and so then the producers will amp that up.
Yeah.
I hate that you're creating moments that live longer than just this season. and you're not thinking about actually what impression is this putting on a whole generation of people. And that affects loads of people because it seeps in. Just constantly questioning who your friends are and are they rooting for you, and what you say when it's kind of like, oh, this person shows up, this person's my cheerleader, and that is a measure of who they are in its entirety. You're not giving any grace to, they couldn't come to this event because they couldn't come. Like, it's all of those things that you put out there, that this is, everybody has to be perfect in a way, or they're shading me.
Yeah.
The jealousy scales, like, this person's jealous of me because I've got this bag, and it's literally like, truly life is not really like that unless you're looking through that lens.
Exactly. And
those are the problems that I have with reality TV.
Yeah, because it's not reality. And also, Bussy, yes, how's it different to Geordie? They're not. I don't watch Geordie Shore, Chelsea, whatever.
Oh, Geordie Shore was shit.
And then all of them, Jersey Shore, Geordie Shore, everything. And then again, exactly as you said, it seeps into other cultures and other groups, because those shows, the British shows, were born out on the back of the success of those shows. And so, and then they start emulating that behavior because they know that's what wins. And so when we have now down to badders, props to taking the initiative to create it. But what I can't necessarily props that, because you're creating a show where all we get are the clips of girls fighting each other for nonsense, not for the life or death or improvement of society, because of nonsense. You spoke about me, you fucked my man, and you did this, and that's it. And you're fighting and exposing yourself, and we're championing that. It's now become a thing where this is great, this is fun. I cannot laugh at this. I don't find it jokes. I vehemently dislike this stuff. And I do think, I remember having this argument with someone, they were like, no, it doesn't have an effect. It has had a cultural effect, no doubt, hands down, it's had a cultural effect on this generation.
I think it definitely does. It does do things to perception. It's like when we were first talking about, even with aunties, like, are we going to cover TV, how we're going to do it and whatever. And then me and Sade really being like, okay, we both watch a lot of reality TV, and our voices can be a part of the discourse that goes along with it, where everybody else is talking, and you generally don't find two older women talking about it. You just don't find there's too many people doing that. But also then advocating for the black contestants, it does shift things, because they are watching all of our media all the time. So everybody in our space that is reviewing and recapping, you know that producers are like, these guys are promoting our shows, we need representation. Then within the representation that we're getting, they can be criticized. So we're going to go along this side so that it starts to shape what the representation looks like, the storylines that they are feeding us, because they're all storylines, and trying to make it more dynamic so that we don't call them out on their bullshit as soon as they start. Like, okay, we know where this is going. They try and be more dynamic. So it works hand in hand. It's like, that's why you need critics in any medium. You need the ones that are like, no, that's bullshit, so that it changes a little bit of a direction.
I think that's where your importance comes in. That's where Lavish is important. I say important, obviously we're talking about entertainment and stuff like that, so let's not go so deep, but it is important to have your voice, because what you guys do is bring common sense to the madness. And though you can enjoy the madness and laugh along with it, when it's actual scenarios, because when you peel back the bullshit and the actual scenarios of human interaction, the highs and lows and the messy bits and the nice bits of it, that's where the value of you guys' conversation and common sense and life experience is valuable and helpful. Because it just being left to run rampant as it was, and it has been, it's destroyed a culture. I don't care. It's destroyed a culture. It's destroyed a perspective. Got girls out there thinking that, and it has fed into the materialism as well of relationships, where we now have young black girls expecting this from black men, and black men expecting this from nothing but from how we're presented. Part of it is the reality show phenomenon, and part of it is the black side of it, because our culture is the dominant culture at the moment. I'm pissed at. I am really pissed at it. It's very definitely my auntie pissed off at it.
Yeah, Busy says I love recap shows. I do as well. Now I've really started watching other content creators and what they do and what they say, and it's like, oh my god, this is actually a really interesting space to be in as well. It's different.
It's important, even with us, what we do with aunties, not to toot our own horn. It is giving that other voice, because even now, especially now watching FD Signifier and Mark, and then Joe Budden, even Joe Budden's grown on me now because I was definitely in the
It
camp
took a
where-
while, didn't it?
because I was literally like, I don't like what you stand for. In from what I'm presented of Joe, I was presented of Joe Biden as being a woman abuser and just not being very nice. I don't like that. I'm not going to feed into that. So get rid of that, and then especially he's surrounded by people as well that give different opinions. Just listening to different conversations and their opinions and mindset. You need that in a world where. And it's a particular way. It's not just people talking shit. It's actually people who are genuinely like, let's discuss this. And you can see they're genuinely talking about it in a way that really shares different perspectives rather than we're doing this for likes and gains and stuff. And we don't even believe what we're saying. That shit I'm not interested in.
It's such a difference. But I've loved actually you kind of watching Joe Budden as well, because I did always feel like I was out on an island alone, like just being like, honestly, you ain't got to like everything he says or does or what is presented to you, but what he has done for podcasting, it's a masterclass each time you watch his show. And how he is really watching culture and infusing that in what he puts out there. If you only know of Joe through what goes on a blog, you don't know what he's doing. And that's the lens that I take with everything. A blog may lead me to the rabbit hole, and it's like, that's great, but you can't take a blog post as that is the person. It's not. You have to go and see it for yourself, because then you do become the sheep. You will just be swept in opinion, and then before you know it, that blog owner has changed the narrative, and they are now selling this person to you in a different way, and you never knew what they were. And that will happen with Joe eventually. Depending on how big he grows, people are gonna give him like mogul status. He will get there if he doesn't shoot himself in the foot. But you kind of got to see what he stands for. All of the people that are around him. It's a great cast that he's got there.
I think, and
this is the thing. I don't advocate for the dude. He literally may have beat up his ex-girlfriends. He could have done all of that. I don't know.
It's that I think. But so yeah, you could, and you're right to not like him. It's absolutely fair. And there's people in the cast, and just remember to say they are a cast, but where it is like they are I don't believe in watching them that anyone's sitting there lying. And if they do lie, they get called out by someone else who's not lying. So whoever's fronting, there's going to be a full circle moment where their fronting gets called to fruition and gets brought up. So at the moment, it seems like this cast of people on the Joe Budden podcast show, particularly, they are there to call each other out and hold each other accountable. It seems like it. And Joe's not always right. And sometimes he is definitely a man with a mic. And there's people on that cast who definitely represent those problematic black men with mics. Absolutely. But there's a conversation, if we're real, we're seen as problematic black women with mics. People think
you see our comments.
People assume that we hate black men. I hate being in that space because I've never been that person. I have never been that person that's like down on black men. I see things fairly from all sides, but black men have been letting us down a little bit. I can speak honestly from my perspective. So it is what it is. His bullying of yes, I understand, Maggie. That's true. His bullying of Meg. Also, he has a huge platform and used it for that. Where's because what did I just watch? Joe said, for all Mel's expressions and faces, and there's nowhere else she'd rather be than on that chair. I dream of being on that chair. That's my new fantasy place to be.
Oh, really? Is it?
My new fantasy place. Before I used to be on and I wanted to be on the Breakfast Club because I feel like I would have had up Charlemagne and Envy. And then my new fantasy spot is to be a woman on Joe Budden's podcast because I'm not sure Mel does enough.
Mel doesn't do near enough. Mel is not the chick she tries.
She does try. And I think
every so often she has an episode where Mel did the thing.
Shines, yeah.
Every so often though. But there are other women consistently that could have him up.
Yeah.
And all of them. And they would actually be more valuable in that space. Yeah. But yeah, definitely when he was talking about Meg, and again, it's like Joe is representative of an everyman as well. Like he will there are too many men that have a lot of shit to talk about Meg Thee Stallion, there was no voice there to speak for her.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where it's like, yeah, you kind of need
And
those elements.
And that might be part of his casting. Like, of all the casting, and it's like the argument that they're having about Jess Hilarious and The Breakfast Club versus Lauren LaRosa. And Jess has definitely come back better. She has. And so she's much better. And Lauren was great. The only thing for Lauren for me is that she got a little bit, and it was Charlamagne's fault, I believe, as the leader of the Breakfast Club. I believe that he descended quickly into picking at Lauren, which is what he does in general, but it might have been his subconscious allegiance to Jess, where he didn't want to come across as favoring Lauren, but Lauren was doing a really good job. But Charlamagne kind of dragged her into this petty thing where they ended up squabbling, and I didn't like that. So I think Lauren lost control of what she had by the end of it. So it's better that I prefer without the squabbling and bickering. And I think Joe might have got Mel in there, possibly. I don't know what friendship or allegiance they have, but I don't understand why there's not a stronger woman in that room. And I don't mean stronger to go toe to toe with the men, but just generally be a bit more of a stronger voice for women if you're going to have a woman in that space, because sometimes they reduce her, and she allows them to, or feels like she has to or can't. She allows them to reduce her to being just the video vixen that she was, and I don't like that.
Destiny Love is spot on. Mel has changed a lot. She used to be fire on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee back in the day. She was.
I never saw her in that.
Yeah, I don't know if the space is intimidating. Thinking over the comments keeps her quiet. I'm not too sure what has taken place, but she isn't the person. I would say, if he wanted that kind of pretty older Claudia.
Who's Claudia?
Claudia, her surname is out of my head.
Little Rock is asking, who would I put in? I don't know. I
would say Claudia would be the person to go in, who is smart, has conviction.
What does she do? Who's Claudia? I'm going to find.
Claudia was on Fox Soul.
Okay.
Claudia's way more intelligent than Mel. Bathroom Diaries.
Claudia Jordan.
Yeah, Claudia Jordan. Don't go there. No, Claudia is blatantly intelligent. Let's not do that.
Who said that she's not intelligent?
The Bathroom Diaries said no, Claudia isn't as intelligent as Mel. She absolutely is.
Okay, I don't know.
But she has vim in her. Where
I do know her face. Actually, I do know.
She ain't gonna have it from them. When Mel would sit there quiet and they're all doing their shit, Claudia's gonna talk.
This is Claudia Jordan. Okay.
And I'm thinking of a similar ilk to, I think this is what Joe likes. I cannot see that Joe would particularly have a dark-skinned woman on the couch.
Yeah. Who's Lovely T.I.? Lovely T or Lovely T.I.?
I don't know who T.I. is.
Lovely T.I. I think that's her full name. Lovely T TV. This is this person. Oh, she's got YouTube. Hold on, let's go. Lovely T. Oof. Oh, her. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I watched one or two. Hold on. I've watched one of two of her screens. Sorry, because I'm sharing screen. I've watched one or two of her shows or programs.
And when I tell you, honey, Twitter has been left in shambles this morning.
I don't know, because she just.
No,
I don't think it's her.
I know what you're saying, but it's not her either.
Okay,
I know what you're saying, but Joe's audience, again, they're very male heavy. Or it's a particular. I know, like Mandy has probably always wanted to sit on Joe's couch, is why she hates on everybody that is there. But I can't see the person being any shade darker than Mel, honestly.
But also,
he is colorist. He is. Or if the person is dark skinned, the beauty that she's going to have to possess to be there to feed into that audience is a different. And that's just the reality of what Joe would be around and what the audience is going to be receptive to. It's not going to be an ordinary black woman. I don't even know if Jess Hilarious is probably the darkest, funniest, most intelligent person that could sit there and hold her own.
Yeah. Or someone like, I don't know why I'm saying Issa Rae, but do you know that type of, you've got to have something about you that's inarguably brilliant and excellent if you're going to sit on there and not be a
video vixen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mel changed after she didn't speak out on the Drea situation. Everyone came for Mel, and now she's been quiet. And the thing is, I think she's contemplating and playing her position and it is difficult. I guess you have to be tough to withstand that room. You have to be, and as a woman, you have to be. You have to be.
It's a hard.
Because I would be
platform.
Because they tease your emotions, even when the guys get emotional. If Mel gets emotional, they laugh. You know what I mean? Like there's even I was thinking, because even in my fantasy thinking of being on Breakfast Club, I'd be like, I might end up cussing or we're having another team meeting because guys, the way you're behaving is I'm not having it. So it depends on, and if they just want an easy life, they're not going to be having team meetings after team meetings to address their behavior all the time. If that's what they feel they have to go through. So they need a woman that's going to go along.
Jessie Woo. That's an interesting one, you know.
Would she work? Would she? Jessie Woo.
Jessie Woo, I wouldn't mind seeing on. That would be interesting. Angela Rye, but she's gonna cuss everybody.
You know what?
She's too political.
The more I've listened to Angela, I was a fan and again introduced to her through the Breakfast Club. But since it's on this political run, she's a little bit not listening. She kind of doesn't listen, and she's very always ready to and she doesn't listen well. I think I need to figure it out. I haven't watched enough, but it's always been clips on Breakfast Club, and I
love Ole as well. I think she would be too intelligent on there.
Ole Yemi.
I feel like her. Yeah, I just feel like his audience would be like, get her off.
Yeah, because I don't. Yeah, you got to think. So, mate, this is why Mel works at this point. So we're as women, they don't really care about us. This is a man's club. So Michelle Obama at this point.
She would walk off. She would be like, "No, I'm not doing this shit."
Yes, it depends. You know what? It's another one. It's like Mark Lamont Hill. Like Mark is a brilliant addition because he brings you get to see his N-word side.
Yeah.
His which you don't get to see when he's being his political self and his Black Power self. So I love him on this space because you get to see his more regular human side versus not having to go along with everyone's opinion and challenge and being an advocate for women in a way that he gets called a simp and he rides it. So
he would be. He is probably like the best new addition he's brought in.
Yeah.
I hated Flip. Flip gets on my nerves dramatically.
Oh, Destiny can't stand Mark.
Serious?
Really?
I think he is the best new addition he's brought in. I love him on there.
I enjoy it, but
what? Blue centric would be great on Joe Budden.
Centric. I remember that person.
I don't know if the audience would respond to her, but Blue, even if Blue was there, like Mark is there, like once a week. Oh my god, that would be great.
Marie
but
tells
Blue hates Mel, so that's not what I think.
This is the thing, and I think when Mel does her thing, she does her thing. She does speak, and I watched something the other day, and she did well. But Jaguar White, no, it's not going to work. Not for
Blue. Let me see if I can find her page. I love Blue's content.
So I don't watch enough. Because of timing, I don't get to watch enough. So and I get very stuck with who I get stuck with. This person.
Let's see what you got.
Right, what's the time? I do have to get ready to go out soon. This person.
Yeah. This is her page.
Let's go
she has her own pod. It's called Humanized.
So
Blue Toulousema. If you follow her on Insta, I think her Insta one is it's both. It's Blue Centric or Blue Toulousema. Both of those are on there. She is a journalist. She was like one of the top journalists for the Griot.
Oh, really?
I was like, he and I were having a moment. And he looked at her like, you don't see me trying to get your friend's number? And her brain.
Okay. She's dark
She
skinned
was
woman.
also a part of Jason Lee's show as well. She was one of the commentators on there.
Okay. I
Yeah,
froze.
she's cool. She has a whole course on emotional intelligence as well.
Okay.
She's really good. I really, really like Blue's content.
She used to have a pod with Mel.
Well, when Jason Lee, so they were all a part of the same thing, and then Mel left, and it was left with Blue and what's his name? Damage? Is it DJ Damage? I think his name was. But her and Mel fell out anyway. She talks about it time ago. She is like, she doesn't trust Mel.
What's what do you know? I don't want to shit on Mel. I don't know what she's been through. So this you guys are talking about Angel, who sits with Kev on stage. I started to watch Kev on stage thing. I like Kev on Insta. I'm not sure. I haven't taken to him as a pod. I haven't really listened to his pod. So this is
jokes. They're cool together. She's not like Joe Budden Universe though. Like, it doesn't really work. But she's cool. She's actually their pod. I listen to it from time to time.
I haven't watched it, not for anything. I just haven't gone there.
Yeah, it's okay. That would be jokes.
These are all intelligent women. That's why they wouldn't work. And I'd hate to think of all the things that he's doing that would be the bottom line. I can't believe that's where Joe sits. And he has a relationship with Mel. So there's definitely with his brother and sister, kind of like he backs her. So I'd like to understand that.
I mean, overall, I understand if the rumors are to be true that he really wanted Bridget Kelly to be on his podcast. I could see Bridget would work there as well. She's strong enough and has ties to the music industry, knows things, but also sometimes Bridget holds back because she is an artist and a working artist.
Okay.
So she ain't gonna gun people or talk about stories where she knows somebody true. She's not a journalist.
Mel keeps quiet a lot.
Precisely. I feel like a journalist would probably be better in that position, a bit like Mark.
Yeah.
Just to be able to talk. Like everybody thought Ice was going to be like that because that's how he was on Twitter. But then when it comes to it, you do care what people say.
Yeah.
He's somebody who doesn't care.
He's changed. He's not a troll anymore. He's evolved from trolling.
Mel is it? Lala. Oh.
Lala. Anthony.
I wonder. I don't know. I haven't watched her enough. That would be interesting. Yeah, Lala Anthony would be. That would be.
I mean, Angie Martinez's got, but an Angie Martinez type would be great. Like, do you know what I mean? Angie Martinez, if she was to leave her space position to come and join them, and maybe if Joe becomes that big. But let's see. Who said he is evolving? So let's see where he gets into. And that's the thing. There's room for growth and evolution. Let's see. So we've been going on these tangents. I forget where we were in the first place. What the story was a jump off. But anyway, news or nonsense. I think this was news because we ended up talking about a lot of stuff.
That was Mr. Beast, didn't it? We went down the podcasting rabbit hole.
So Mr. Beast, I think it is what it is. It will come out when it comes out. If it comes out, if there's anything to come out.
Yes. Let's see where it goes with these allegations.
I think I do have to kind of wrap up, but I soon. So I want to go to some nonsense. Okay. How do you guys feel, if this is nonsense, how do you guys feel about Yale offer? There's another story. Okay, let's get serious a minute. So much to talk about.
Oh, well, Missy is saying it's nighttime where she is. It's like 1 a.m.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Hi, thank you for joining us.
Missy, yes. Please come back again.
Please.
We love your contributions, Missy.
Okay, we're going to wrap up then. I'll go to something nonsense and we can come back to the other stuff next week. How do you guys feel? Is this nonsense about Madame Beyonce having her own course at Yale? How do you feel about that? Is this news or is it nonsense? She's basically Yale University, one of the world's most prestigious institutions, has announced a new course dedicated to Beyonce. The class will explore her work from her 2013 self-titled album to her latest release, Cowboy Carter, analyzing her music, videos, and cultural impact. Beyonce joins Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga as artists whose influence is studied at top universities across the USA, including in Texas, California, and Arizona. The course aims to reflect on the societal impact of her artistry and storytelling. Critics are questioning the academic merit of focusing on a single pop artist, saying such courses may prioritize popular culture over traditional academic subjects, potentially diluting the reputation of higher education. Some also worry about the potential for celebrity worship overshadowing critical analysis. Supporters say studying influential figures like Beyonce allows for an exploration of themes such as race, gender, and politics within a cultural context. They argue that these courses can engage students by connecting academic theories to real-world examples, thereby enhancing understanding of complex social issues. Is this news or nonsense?
Nonsense.
It's nonsense.
It's interesting that I feel like this is a waste of money in the world that we are going into. If you are going to spend money on your education, learning about Beyonce's influence, it doesn't make any sense. I would understand you studying the music business all round, holistically, all different players. Like, I understand that as a true, I'm in a university and this is what I'm studying.
Yes.
But I don't know about this. Like, I feel like this is just a money grab on some sycophantic fans that are going to be like, I went to Yale and I studied about Beyonce. Like, okay. It feels like a money grab, but you know.
Well, that was quickly. And another stupid story. Did you hear about the 4 men that were arrested in the bear suit and done for insurance fraud?
But they were actually getting payouts.
1 second, let me find the video.
It's not as criminal capers go, yeah. This one that they were doing it and they did manage to get some payouts. I feel I doff my hat to them.
Do you? Hold on, I can't. Oh, I downloaded the wrong thing. Let me see if I can get get you an overview of the story. The bears.
Yes, for real, Celine. Ivy League universities are losing money because fees are too high and college reputations invested in Israel. For real. Everyone says the bear suit didn't even look real. It didn't, but
it didn't. It looks so bad. But hold on, I've got like an overview of the story here. Let's get it shared because I was like, what the hell? I was excited to share it with you guys.
Destiny Love says the only thing about Beyonce I want to study is not talking on social media, not replying to anyone, and just following her husband on social media platforms.
That's an art.
What looks like a bear breaking into a Rolls Royce and tearing up the interior. But after closer inspection, investigators determined it was nothing more than a man in a bear suit. Now 4 men are under arrest for insurance fraud after they used the video to place a claim. To make matters worse, detectives found 2 additional insurance claims with 2 different insurance companies on the same date of loss and at the same location. In total, insurance companies were defrauded of more than $141,000. Detectives executed a search warrant at the home of one of the suspects and found the tattered bear suit complete with metal claws. In a Rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, I was one of what people will do.
Really? Speechless.
One for the books. One of the suspects.
It's this.
Look at the. Why is the stuff in your house?
It's got leaves in it. They were really going for it. Okay, so guys.
Oh my God, no! Yeah. Do what you can do in it. They managed to get a little bit out of them. Insurance companies are defrauding us all the time. If somebody can get a little one over on them, cool.
Yes, basically we had remember the Chinese zoo that had the pandas or the dogs as pandas, all of that stuff. It's wild. Okay, gonna end on a cute feel good story. Oh, Where is it?
Celine said bare lives matter.
They sure do. Let's see, where's this? Oh gosh, where is it? Another story. Okay, so did you hear about the mother and son that randomly connected in a bakery?
No.
So this guy, oh God, again, another rubbish download of me. I'm really bad. Sorry, guys. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Has executed a search warrant.
Nope, stop sharing. Let me get out of here. Bakery reunion. So, this black guy and woman. Bakery union. This one. Okay, here we go. I've got it. All right, let me share it. It's a really cute. Oh God, guys, I'm doing the most auntie stuff here behind the scenes. Here we go. Sorry. Quickly. Yeah, I thought this was really, really sweet.
Give me some sugar bakery these days. It's the kind of laughter that is even more special because it's being shared by family. Lamar Hunter and Lenore Lindsay are mother and son, though they only discovered that a couple of years ago.
It's the most joyful story and time of my life that in my senior years that all of this has come together.
Lindsay was 17 years old when she gave up her newborn son for adoption. Hunter was 35 when he discovered he was adopted, and years later became curious to meet his birth mother, so he submitted results for genetic testing. Turns out they lived in the same South Shore neighborhood and a customer at the bakery she owned.
It's been a great experience. It further strengthens my faith.
Lindsay believes God brought them together. When she discovered the relationship, she was facing a health crisis, which led Hunter, who had no prior baking experience, to take over the bakery. These days, he says he's especially proud of his pound cake. And now that his mom's health is better, they often work together.
You can't make up for time and days gone by. What you can do is properly utilize the time that you have.
Hunter recently also met the sister he never knew and a whole extended family. Hunter has 4 kids of his own. They've been living in the same neighborhood their whole lives, never knowing they were related.
When I called him, that connection was so immediate. I can't even explain it. It was just like everything in my heart just broke open.
Now that Hunter knows more about his family lineage, he's planning to keep this bakery in the family. Says once he retires, he wants to pass it along to one of his children. In the South Shore neighborhood, John Garcia, ABC 7.
That shot is wild, though, where he's reporting from.
It's so crazy.
Aside from the beautiful story, where they pulled out, I get the perspective that they wanted to get of them working together, but that was wild. But anyway,
But why? He could have just been in the corner. Like it actually could have been a voiceover. Like there's so many different things. I don't know why he's in the kitchen, and it's the pan out. It's just silly. But no, that is
that's so sweet. So I think that they didn't fit it in I think that he was looking for his mum, whatever, and he'd been going to that bakery and just was a fan of whatever they were selling. So he was going there regularly, and they obviously built up like a customer service relationship. Yeah. And then when something like someone called him, and when she called him, like then they found out. It's just so wow.
But that they were actually living in the same neighborhood.
That happens more often. That happens more often than not, and I think there's quite a few stories.
I mean, even that he didn't know that he was adopted until he was in his 30s anyway. So it's that is so sweet.
Oh, that's it.
I love
Yvonne
saying to get a child again.
He had the shop number saved in his phone, and she called to say she was his mum. He wondered why he was getting a call from the bakery. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh, look at that. That's so cute.
Very sweet.
Yeah. I feel you on the Truman Show.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I wonder, you're placing a child, you may think one day he's going to bump into the mother. Like it's weird. But I'm glad that they are working together. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was a nice feel good for your Sunday afternoon, guys. This has been News and Nonsense. What are you guys doing for the rest of your day before we sign off?
Yes, let us know.
I'm going to. I'm going to
Exactly,
go.
Sarah. That is why sperm babies is scary because of stuff like this.
Right.
Exactly. Before you know it, you're married to your sibling.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And also that I think I've seen quite a few stories of when you are fostered, you think you're fostered like to across the world, but then you're literally in the same vicinity. And you think about logistics, you just assume you're going to be fostered down somewhere else, but it's in the vicinity of like where you grew up anyway, because it's the
yeah,
same council and borough. You're not shipped out to another borough, or do you know what I mean?
yes. Exactly.
Yes. It is very dark outside. I'm quite shocked. I'm going to a concert. Hello, Han. Have you just joined? We have finished. It's true, Destiny.
Getting ready for the week. They all flash by anyway. I'll start saying Happy New Year for Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Oh.
Rock says, thanks, ladies, great live. Or GDB says she's going to cook, then TV chill time. I kind of want to chill, but I'm going to a concert.
What is the concert that you're going to?
Ghostface Killer from the Wu-Tang Clan. It's going to be very hip-hoppy. This is the end of my birthday week, so I'm a party with my bum.
Yes, and book the like button, please,
Yes,
please. Oh, share. She's going to see her mother and have din-dins.
And some.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, Han. I'll rewatch from the start. Yes, do. It's a good one. It's actually fun. We had a great conversation, guys. Everyone's gonna have dinner and chill until I'm a Celebrity starts. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
and then afterwards, join us live, Yvonne. Join us on the live. Yeah, I'll put. Oh, the WhatsApp link. Let me put that in.
Thank you, Saladella. My birthday was on Thursday. I spent it in the air coming back from Saudi Arabia and had a really great lead up to my birthday, which was fun. As you guys would have seen on the members chat, I was part of the hair team that took part in the fashion show for Ellie Saab in Saudi Arabia. It was a wonderful 3-day event. But thank you. I'm going to enjoy the concert with some hip hop, which I'm excited about. What to wear is another thing.
Well, is it not just like a tracksuit? No.
I mean, that's so stereotypical.
Isn't that what people wear to hip hop concerts?
It's so stereotypical. I could wear a ball gown. I've got an Adidas. I think I'm gonna wear my Adidas skirt. Oh no, maybe I won't wear my Adidas skirt. Maybe I'll wear. I could wear my Ivy Park, but that's quite short. Where's the concert? It's in Brixton.
Next week, can we explore the fortress? You guys miss him, innit? You
really
miss him.
To be fair, I was almost going to go to the ASMR guy. Next week we'll have some fun with it. And Farrah should be back because she's finished her big project on Big Brother. Her big brother's finished, and now she can have her Fridays back. So she said she'll be back. Yes, Destiny, baggy clothes and trainers. I mean, it's I might wear. Hello, the ladies of hip hop. Arts Mel also wore catsuits and short clothes. I might go sexy. I might draw a hip hop boyfriend. You never know.
Why would you bother?
Why would I bother trying to get a hip hop boyfriend?
Why? But just wear a tracksuit, man.
No, I might beanie, bounty, and performing tonight. Baby Sham. Where, Little Rock? South of the river. It's not terribly cold. Little nippy. It is. I've had my back door open because my daughter got me this for my birthday. One of my presents from her. She got this. Is, if you can see, it's like.
Are you always cold or something?
Who?
Oh, Ashley says I'm going.
Oh, Ashley's find me. I don't know what I'm wearing. I wear a rose in my hair. Well, I can't wear a rose in my hair. Oh, Wembley Arena. Okay. Go as Little Kim. Ha ha, Destiny. Imagine me going as Little Kim with this weather. Hey. But yes, this is the best. But I've had to open it because it is very, very hot. So when I was like, this is very warm. So I've opened my back door. So it's cold but nice because I'm so warm in this.
It does look like a bear. It literally looks very.
And she bought me Ugg slippers because
you got the Ugg slippers.
She bought me them 2 years ago. And I should show you my other ones next time. They're worn to the ground. Let me show you. They are absolutely worn. And I don't advocate for much I don't want to sell, but look how I mashed up my last ones. These are dead.
Oh
So,
Lord.
yeah.
I know, but yeah, the higher ones are better though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got these and they're very warm. These are so comfortable. They're shaped to my foot, but they're dead now. So this was my
Ashes to Ashes says, did she tell you I saw her shopping for it?
Oh, really? Tell me, did she say this? No, I don't think she did. For real. No, they're not leaning to the left Uggs, Yvonne. You remember I was saying, oh, I used to hate Uggs. I hated them when they first came out because that's where it looked like middle-class white girls had worn them until they were walking on the arm of the leg of the.
Yeah, they were. They were literally leaning, and it's like the foot used to dribble down. It's crazy.
I didn't know Ashley's house. I don't think she said. She might have. Did she say? Because sometimes what happens to my daughter is that people come up to her and say hello to your mum for me, or I know your mum, and then she gets like, mum, that woman or that guy, and you know him, and then she tries to describe them, and then it all gets like, I don't know who you're talking about, Ams. Oh, that's cute. But yes.
I was thinking of getting those Uggs in brownie red.
Yeah. I will stand on the ones that she got me 2 years ago. It's 2 years, and I wear them all the time. So these ones I advocate. The Uggs are good. They are warm and they're good around the house.
When we went into the Ugg store, there was some nice boots in there though. No, Ashes.
I forget.
Oh, you don't know who Ashes to Ashes is it?
I keep forgetting who Ashes to Ashes is. Can you have your real name, please? For fuck. No, she didn't tell me. She didn't actually. Oh, she must have forgotten. She didn't tell me. I didn't know. I haven't seen you for ages. I miss you. Oh, sorry, Ashes to Ashes. I forget behind your acronym, behind your moniker, who you are. It's my darling. It's Shares, isn't it? Sorry. She didn't tell me she forgot. I think she forgot.
Oh God.
I
got 4 hours.
But yes, all right. Guys, thank you.
Shoe Zone.
Shoe Zone. Oh my God.
Yes,
Yvonne, I'm terrible with people's fake names. I forget people have not their real names out here. We'll be back next week, probably Friday.
Yeah, unless we get invited somewhere great.
Yeah, unless we go, because it's Christmas party season. I'm going to have a bit of a doozy next week. No, I think it'll be all right. Yeah, for me, it's a bit busy. Oh, no, yes, next Friday might just be you and Farrah.
What's happening next Friday?
Dinner that I've got to go to.
Okay.
Actually,
I don't actually mind this Sunday time.
This is not bad. Guys, how do you feel? Quickly, how do you feel? Sundays or Fridays? We keep debating.
I know. And you know what? The thing is, the poll was 50-50.
Yeah.
So it's like, you guys you're not even helping us. But guys in the chat at this moment, let us know. Shall we stick with the Sundays or the Fridays? Or are you actually okay with us being like, oh, it may not be a Friday, it could be the Sunday?
Yeah, do you mind if we move according to our schedule? Because Fridays, we're old now, so we don't necessarily go out so much on a Friday, but it does happen. Ooh, 2 Sundays in the chat.
3 Sundays in a row.
Ooh. This should have been a post. Thanks, Auntie Seth. Thank you, Destiny. We like Sunday night too. Let's do both. Friday night and we like Sunday night. Okay. Sunday. I like Fridays as it's a wind down, but I don't mind change up. Friday is my evening with my grandson. Okay, Yvonne, I get that. Cher likes Fridays. Ma likes Sundays. Sundays is winning. Sundays is no flexi is fine. Thank you, Ashes to Ashes. It's always incredible. It always descends into madness on Fridays. It's true. But it can still descend into madness only because I'm going out and Nana's going to do Meant to Excel, so we didn't want to go for too long. But we've done 2 hours.
Yeah, we done a good, giving you guys a good innings.
Yeah, and the thing is with Sundays, if we do it at this time, there's room for us to go longer because we don't feel like we've got to go to bed a gap in the morning. And then me and Nana always have like 10-hour chats afterwards, which isn't great for us. I like Sundays duo. So Sundays is winning so far. Flexi works too. Okay, what should we do?
All right. don't even. I know.
Oh,
You know why Fridays was also working was doing the We Are live on a Friday, and then it goes into our main podcast.
That was a new thing.
Good, yeah, that was a good transition. It was like, yeah, it was converting really well. But then I don't mind a Sunday. Oh, I don't know.
Let's go flexi. Let's because selfishly, because I've got to go to dinner on Friday. I'm like, oh, next Sunday, I'd like to do. I like doing news and nonsense, innit? So
Yeah.
if you and Farrah could do Friday, then I can't hold you to it.
Okay, so next week we're definitely doing Sunday.
Okay, cool. Let me just check my diary. Because yeah, next Sunday is the 24th. There's nothing in it, so we could do next Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, next Sunday we are doing news and nonsense, and then we'll work from there on being flexible. Yes, let's be flexible for real.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Sign up to our WhatsApp group. I put the link in the chat already, and I will start. If anybody is waiting, I'll let you in. Is there anybody even waiting? No, there's nobody waiting. Oh, one person. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna let you in now. Yeah.
All right, I'll go figure out my outfit.
Tracksuit and trainers, man. Don't.
Hey. The following Sunday is party, so the following Sunday.
So that week
would be Friday.
Week, it's going to be Friday because we're going to be all together at our December Christmas party.
Party.
So sign up to our party as well, please. I'm going to drop that link in.
Oh, my earring.
Okay. All right. Lovely. All right. And I will see you guys after I'm a Celebrity on Meant to Excel.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Bye, guys.
Send the link. Okay. I'm going to do that quickly now. How do I don't know why this isn't easy for me to just get the link.
I sit here looking pretty. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, I'm dropping the link in. There we go. That's a WhatsApp group. And if you see any stories throughout the week, drop it in the chat for us, please, so that we can add that to the document. That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
And there's still a bunch of stories we didn't get through, so there's going to be, and they can travel for next week. They can work for next week as well.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.